get my mic up out of the way. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the party.
We're here. We're live.
We are live, it looks like. I don't know. I can see myself seeing myself. It's kind of weird, but you know.
I like your half green screen behind you.
Yeah, it's a half green screen because it's half fallen down because of my cat.
Oh, all right. Well, as we saw before we went to air, I'm totally used to that. As my cat went through a model train roundhouse.
Yeah. All right. Everybody's joining in. Look at this. So we'll give everybody a couple minutes to get in here since it's just now 10 o'clock. And that way everybody can join in, and then we'll go through a round of introductions. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Get over to here, and there we go. If I keep looking down, it's because we're in the last minutes of a mayor's war in SimCity Build It. And I just got trashed.
Fair enough. I'm playing with paper, so it's fine.
I got this 2 weeks ago. I started playing it, and I've been addicted. But it's good because it's something that when you're on the couch, you can listen to a book and play a game.
I can understand that. I spend an extremely large amount of time listening to books, so
I've come in love with audiobooks. So,
well, see, I work in DC, and I have to drive an hour and a half to get to work, and an hour and a half home every day. And after doing that job for about 4 months, I realized that listening to the radio and the politics and the airheads in DC my whole way there, I was becoming very depressed. So I had to find something else to do with my time.
Well, one thing I actually haven't been listening to is podcasts as well. And there's one that's actually quite good. I'm trying to find the proper name for it here. 3D printer chat. There's my podcast.
I don't think I know that one.
Two guys out in California. Sometimes you really get the feeling of, there it is, surfer dudes. 3D printing today, that's what it's called. 3D printing today. And their shows are recorded well in advance, but they cover the industry of 3D printing, right from your home kits up to what industrial uses are. And it sounds like one of the guys worked at, I don't know, NASA, Boeing, what have you, so high-end commercial level. So that's they can take the technical look at the equipment, but also they see what the new printers out there, what industry trends are, and everything else. So 3D printing today, yes.
3D printing today. Did you find that on the App Store?
Yeah, they're in. It's a podcast, so I have the podcast app, but they're also on. They're in the Apple Store under podcast too. You can go find them.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it's a good source of information.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I love science fiction, so we're over there. Last time I showed, maybe I'll bring it up again, the full 3D scan of me standing there. That was done at the Calgary Comic Expo, which is now the biggest convention in Canada. And I think it ranks in the top 3 in the world. There's Comic Con, nothing approaches it, but this Comic Expo is huge. Matter of fact, a few years ago, they hosted the first reunion of the Star Trek Next Generation crew cast. That was their first gathering since the series ended. So pulls in some great stuff.
That's not bad. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like conventions, so I go to as many of them as I can that I can afford, which means this year I got one.
Oh, why don't we head through introductions and then we can.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, well, we'll start on the end. How about you, Darren? Why don't you go ahead?
Alrighty. My name's Darian. I'm known as Renaissance Tinkerdork on Twitch. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name. I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. I make stained glass, but I use 3D printing to make custom frames. That's a prototype of one for the giant window that is almost finished. I just need to print the final version for the frame. But that's basically what I do right now. I'm sure I will use 3D printing for prototyping stuff around the house and tinkering and all sorts of other stuff. But my main gig right now is the stained glass.
Very nice.
Can I get you to just maybe up your audio just a little bit there, Darren? It was fairly quiet, but we heard it. Who's next?
Why don't you go to town, Martin?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Martin, and I have a channel called F3DP Iceland. And in my channel, I talk about all the things I go through in my 3D printing. And I've been doing a lot of landscape printing, taking landscape topology and printing it out and painting it. And this one is unpainted, but that's one of the things I do on the channel. I also do a lot of filament testing and try to review everything I buy in regard to the 3D printing. So that's pretty much what I do on my channel. It's just printing stuff and showing it off.
Very cool. All right, Richard.
Okay. Well, name's Richard Murray. All the details are right below here, hopefully, but I have the Zadim channel. I have been pretty much off air since the middle of December due to health issues, but I'm getting back into it. My focus is trying to be 3D printing and model trains. That's why I got into 3D printing, but it sort of goes different directions. I've gotten into SLA printing. I have the PO Polymoia here. So I've been working with the resin printing. It's a different world from what we're used to with FDM. And latest project is some work for Goldsmith. So trying to figure things out there. Oh, and I should mention, hopefully next week I'll get back to doing my Wednesday streams. It's 10 a.m. Wednesdays, that's Pacific time.
Very cool. All right. So those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Geek Tech. I'm hosting this evening for two reasons. One, I plan on being really annoying. And two, just so anybody at Murph can call in and actually join into the chat and everything like that. I run a YouTube channel. I do a lot of gaming, a lot of very nerdy things. 3D printing is something that I've been into, but I haven't been into it recently just for the sheer fact is that my crappy printer is, well, crapped out on me. The current project I'm working on is a little, it is very 3D, but it's not it's not printer related or printing related. Currently trying to build a 1-to-1 scale model of R2D2. Starting off as a 1-to-1 scale statuette, and then I'm going to go from there into actually building a real live working functioning robot of R2 for different events or stuff like that. I've always wanted one. I mean, come on, everybody needs R2, right? Everybody wants him in your house walking around. But my channel covers a lot of different things: video games, 3D printing, anything nerdy I can get my hands on. Rebuilding your motor price, nice. But no, I mean, I cover a lot of things. And as for tonight's stream, the topic is pretty much in the air. Right now, we're going to pretty much cover whatever we can. I would probably like to talk filaments and stuff to that nature with you guys about kind of like your choice and what's going on from there, and give everybody a chance at Murph to call in if they get a chance to tell us what's going on, because I'm extremely curious to what they're dealing with up there. But yeah,
it came up in the chat here, whether the guys will be calling in, and they assure us that they will be coming in at some point, bandwidth and party drinks permitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went out for dinner. The last thing I saw them, they were going out.
Yeah, that's us. We're keeping track of where they are, what they're doing.
We are stalking them electronically. You should be doing the same.
Yeah. Joe Mike did a short live stream maybe 1 hour ago.
Oh, okay.
It was showing the booth were being set up and everybody was getting ready.
And by the way, folks in chat, if you got questions or comments, put them out there. We'll see what we can do with it.
I'll definitely call you forward and bring attention to everybody about your question. It's fine. Don't be embarrassed.
One of the big challenges of moving to SLA printing is you don't have that choice of resin like you do with filaments. Filaments, it is a great day to be printing with those because there's so many out there.
And the SLA printer uses resin, doesn't
it? Yeah, it's resin based. So you get a bottle like this, and what is this one? This is white resin. That's what I've been using. That's a 1/2 liter. That Canadian right now, delivered to the door, 1/2 liter is $56. And the thing is you don't use a lot because you hollow your models. But I love printing with the woods and with the FDM. So when you get in and you can print with the wood, you can stain the woods. They sand well. The detail actually isn't all that bad. It just doesn't really work for the model train stuff I like to do, except for larger structures. And that's where the SLA printing is. But I've actually not done much FDM printing since I got the SLA printer. And I actually been postponing my maker boxes for the last few months because you get that stack of filament from maker box and not using it right now. Brenna took a huge package with her, so hopefully we'll get her on a stream down the road and see what she's up to and making with all those. Her favorites lately have been the glitter filaments out there and the rainbow filaments.
Yeah, those glitter filaments are a little rough on the printer heads, though, from what I've seen, or with my experience, anyways. I know not everybody experiences the same thing.
Do you have to use a hardened nozzle with them?
The first nozzle I used wasn't a hardened nozzle, and it just blew it. I mean, it destroyed the nozzle, so I had to replace it. I have not gotten the ruby nozzle that I've been begging my wife for. She told me no. Well, her theory is the one printer I have that was functioning was a G-Tech, which is a very cheap printer. And she was like, "There's no reason you should buy a nozzle for your printer that costs more than your printer." So wait till you get a better printer, and then we'll talk. Since you're just probably going to blow this one up, anyways.
Yeah, but you can take the nozzle out and put it on the new one.
Yeah, see, that's what I said.
Yeah. Actually, with the various filaments out there, I didn't have any luck with the carbon fiber ones. But I think it's more of my printer setup, and I have to sit down and really have a good look at it and tune it up, and then get back into trying with those. Have you or any of you been printing with the carbon fiber filaments out there?
Yeah, I've tested it just from the maker boxes. I have a Matter Hackers Nylon X filament that I still have to try out. But I got a ruby nozzle not so long ago, and I want to have that before I went through the Nylon X roll.
Probably a smart idea.
Yeah, I have a few just normal hardened nozzles, but I saw some video or some posts about how even though those get worn down with the carbon fiber.
Yeah. The last thing you want to do is if it does wear it down, you don't want to be one print in before you're done.
Yeah.
That brand new nozzle. That's understandable. You actually had a question, Richard. Somebody wanted to know how many prints you could get out of a 0.5 milliliter bottle in your resin printer. Rover asked.
It all depends what you're printing. As actually, I do have a bunch of prints here and a bunch that aren't around, and this thing's still a quarter full. And that's all I needed. Because when you're printing with this stuff, you're printing small. You know, it's getting into things like my horse here. It's...
Is that a dime behind it?
That's a dime.
Huh.
So that's a US dime. So when you're printing something this size, then there's not a whole lot of resin going into it. Now, I really blew it my very first print. So if I can, I'll just change cameras here. Hopefully I can see what I'm up to here. This guy here, another horse, same size as the first one. And I'm not seeing where my camera is. There. This one's solid. It's heavy. You can really tell the difference when you don't hollow a model. So if you're not hollowing them, you're going to burn through resin. But other than that, you can print a lot and not use much resin. Once again, you're not making things like the sword. You know, the sword here, this is half the sword Brenna printed. This, you know, you do stuff like this, you burn through your filament. But, you know, compare that to, you know, there's a mule sitting on top. So really no comparison because it's two different ways of printing. You know, you're printing something that's totally unrelated to what you would do with the FDM. At least that's what I find. No, not a Canadian dime. It just happened to be what I'm in my pocket. Micro Swiss hardened nozzle. So Micron's
John Mike.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, bud?
Hey, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just thought I would hop on and say hi from Murph.
Are you with the crowd?
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you here. Um, here's some sweets, and just gonna go down the line here. That's Anton, and some people from Matter Hackers. It's the 3D Printing Friday Community Hangout. It's Friday night, boys and girls. Got Joel. Say hi, Joel. And Chuck, Rip, Daniel, Lauren, that guy. Yeah, we're all here at Chili's, finally eating dinner.
Well, they haven't kicked you guys out yet.
But I'm just having a pint, and I'm just gonna watch for a while. But I wanted to stop in and say hey.
Yeah,
Really
thanks for joining.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, thanks for stopping in.
Well, we're currently talking filaments and stuff to that nature, and comparing it to the SLA printer that Richard's using.
Ooh.
Someone knows something about that topic, right?
Richard's using the Moai. So I'm gonna mute it and just and you guys keep going.
Party on there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, as I was saying, it's hard to compare the two because you can print some pretty big things with the FDM. So you burn through a lot of filament there, and the resin not so much. But there's a lot more to it with the SLA. But this sword was the first thing Brenna printed when she got her printer up and running, and she had that Comic Expo to go to, so she didn't have a lot of hours to finish it. But so we got lines that wasn't properly calibrated, but it used up a good chunk of filament with it. It is so short because my cat and dog had a conversation over top of it, and the other half went another direction. But you just don't use a lot with the SLA.
Fair enough. All right, so really, you're talking about the difference in scaling, and stuff like that. It. So
yeah. Well, remember the print bed for the at least this Moai printer is only not even 6x6, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was really small. I didn't realize it was 6x6, but I knew it was small.
So this is your print surface. Does this ruler have inches on it? Yeah, it does. Oh, I was wrong. 5x5.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I can only imagine like anybody trying to make something bigger off of an SLA printer. You're talking about massively breaking it up.
Right, and for a lot of things, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. If I was doing that, something that big, I would stick with the FDM printing, unless maybe mix the two. Do something that needs fine detail. Say your R2, if you got one of those small panels, you might SLA print that, but in the main part of the body, if you're going to print it with FDM, you'd print that, the big parts that way, and just put the two together. Before I forget, 2 years ago, Make Magazine had a great article on building an R2D2 and links to all the various parts of an R2. So, if you're going to go in that direction, recommend having a look at the article, hunt it up.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to.
Okay, that wasn't the cat. I'll deal with that later. All right.
Yeah, so James at Printer Play was connecting, but he's just orange. There's no image.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, my cats. I normally have one of them in each of my videos. Sometimes they're trying to eat my prints, and I have to fight them off. Especially one of them is very often just with me on watching what I'm doing.
Yeah, I have to be really careful if I'm getting ready to print, and I'm preheating my bed because one of my cats will run up and jump on it. It's the hottest place in the house.
Nice warm surface, as well as that filament trailing over. That looks fascinating to the cats.
Yeah, I built an enclosure when I got my Prusa printer, mainly to keep out the cats. When I got the second printer, I decided to try to stick it on top of it and see what they would do. And they have, for most parts, learned to not to step on the print bed. But sometimes they try to eat the filament when it's going through.
Yeah, I've seen that. They also have the same fascination I think we do. It's just amazing to look at it and see it go back and forth. And we get sucked into it. I think the cats do just as much.
Yeah, I think I watch my printer just as much as my cat. So it's the same.
You have to admit, they're very mesmerizing.
Yeah.
So, Martin, what filaments do you prefer for your landscape work?
Initially, I used a lot of rigid ink filaments. That was the main filament I was using. But then Ron, the Happy Extruder, sent me a roll of Solitech clear PLA. And I printed out a lot of landscape printers that, and those came out great. I also used Matterhackers filaments for the landscape. Because I paint over them, I haven't paid much attention to what filament I'm using, but as long as just easy to work with.
What preparation do you do before painting them? Do you sand and prime, or you just
normally I just sand it a little bit, not so much, but just to give it a little bit of more rough surface, and also just to remove if there are any blobs or strands on it. Sometimes on the mountain tops there are some blobs, and I try to remove those because they will rip into the brush I use. So I try to just go lightly over the surface and then just paint it. And I try to paint it in one go with I blend the colors while I'm painting. So I don't blend the colors before I apply it to the model. So the blends of the colors will be more organic, flowing on the surface.
What kind of paints are you using?
Just acrylics. I got it in a hobby store. Just some acrylics. It's called Pandora, I think. The types of it.
Do you find any filaments that you use take the paint better than some others?
No, I really haven't found any difference between the PLAs I've tested. Panduro. This is the brand Panduro. And this is just yeah, I haven't tried any other brand, and I'm not a paint guru, so I'm not sure if this is considered good paint or bad paint. But it works quite well for me, at least.
Yeah, I do a lot of acrylics when I'm doing painting in my models and that. Last fall, my big push was get the workshop finished, and I've moved my airbrush out there. And I've been sick all winter, so I haven't had a chance to use it yet. But I'm looking forward to try airbrushing some of these things.
Yeah. Yeah, at least for what I'm doing, it sticks pretty well to the prints.
So we have someone new on.
Yeah, James is here. Why don't you introduce yourself there, bud?
Hey everybody, I'm James. My channel is Print and Play, and yeah, I'm here at Murph. I'm in my hotel room because event wrapped up for 10 o'clock, but made the trip, and it's been pretty good so far. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I've got a camera on the top of my thing, and I've got my webcam. I just realized I'm looking at the wrong one. How are you guys doing tonight?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Well, I'm jealous of all the people that are sitting in a restaurant right now.
I'm not at the restaurant. I skipped out a little bit early and went and had dinner with Country 3D and Fun King 3D. So it's,
Yeah, I'm so jealous because I couldn't get the time off, so I couldn't go. Otherwise, I'd be right there with you guys.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Anybody that's not here is missing out at least a little bit. It's tomorrow's gonna be crazy though, but I think there's gonna be a ton of footage from absolutely everybody here. You can't go anywhere without seeing a camera in your face at this point. So hopefully it'll be almost as good as being here.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Gotta have lots of.
Well, that's one of the things of going to events like that is sometimes you get so involved with videotaping the things you don't actually get to see much of what's going on. It's much better to put the camera away for a while and take it in as an actual attendee.
Well, that's why you have to do what Matt does. He was at the event last weekend, and he just had his GoPro mounted to his shoulder and was rolling around the convention, doing looking at everything and just letting the camera do its job. So.
Sounds like the way to go.
Yeah, I established sort of at the beginning that like I'm probably gonna get carried away with watching stuff, so I did some panning and stuff like that and a quick like sort of camera around the event, but mostly concentrate on like hang out with some people and looking at some projects and stuff. They have Parts Daddy here again this year, and I've confirmed that they're planning to continue to bring it to events, so we're gonna get to keep seeing it. It's just impressive to watch that thing work.
And we got Glenn here.
Yeah, here we are. Yeah, I was just gonna say to James, I was gonna complain about the AO robotics filament. It's not working for me.
Yes, it looks terrible. Those are some terrible looking prints you have there.
Yeah, it's totally awful.
Do you have a kitchen in your room, Glenn?
What's that?
You have a kitchen or something in your hotel room?
Do I have a kitchen? What are you talking about? Yeah, you don't have cabinets like this in your room? Here, let me give you a tour. Is my mic on? Yeah, okay. Look at it. You don't have all this in your room?
He's in the office space at the hotel.
Yes, I am in the business center downstairs.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Here's a tour of my room. It'll take about 2 seconds. And we're done. Oh, there's the cherry printer. I printed myself a JoelBot. I didn't think it was gonna finish, so.
Hey, can you print me a Benchy by morning?
No, I have more than one printer here, so yes, I could.
I really would like to have one. I want to have Daniel Noré sign it.
Oh, you're being serious?
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what. You swing by my room later. We'll set it up.
Is that too much to ask?
Well, I mean, anything you ask is too much to ask, but
You know what's really stupid here? I'm chit-chatting with James, and he's like just a couple floors above me for the first time
not
ever.
only that, you could be here hanging out with me because we're gonna. I just realized this thing's pointed way up. You could be here hanging out with me. Like it's not just that we're this close. It's also that this will only happen like once a year. It's
Okay,
like,
so you know what? I can't remember your room number, so tweet it to me, and I'll go. I'm gonna mute my mic. You guys can continue to talk. I'm just gonna walk with my tablet through the hotel.
okay, I'll tweet it to you. It's gonna be weird because we're gonna have two cameras in the same spot. Actually, we might have to kill one of them. Otherwise, we're gonna get both microphones broadcasting the same thing at the same time.
We can mute one of you. It's not that big a deal.
Just mute Glenn. He never says anything important.
All right.
Curious hotel lobby.
Yeah, I was just joking with Glenn about the AO robotics. I made a impulse purchase during one of his streams a few days ago and ordered like a 12-pack of AO robotics.
Well, no, it actually ended up flaking out and doing nothing. No, they thought it was going to do a lot, and then everyone's all mad.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Mitch now too.
Yeah.
Mitch is here.
I was saying I would blame Glenn if the filament would suck, but actually it prints very good, so I'm quite happy with it. So I'm just teasing him.
Yeah, I would hope so. Glenn swears that it prints like butter. I'm gonna get a 12 variety pack myself here pretty soon.
Yeah. Which filament is that again?
AIO
Yeah.
Robotics.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a PLA. You can get like a 12-pack with 12 different colors.
Yeah, the colors are amazing. I will definitely give them that.
Yeah, I've been printing a few test prints and getting good results. So I'll do a review on my channel. So.
Mitch, what's happening? No, he's muted.
This is weird.
Well, now we're gonna.
Multi-angle. I can see myself over there and over there. Glenn finds this way too amusing.
Oh,
Sorry.
Mitch calls, or Mitch left.
So Xander didn't make the trip with you, Glenn?
It's probably really late. Xander's probably in bed.
That's true.
That's probably why he went down to the office area at the hotel to stream.
Oh, we're getting some audio from him.
Yeah, one of them's listening to the YouTube channel. There's a couple second delay.
Yep. Okay.
A delay for quality, if you will.
I'll let them set up. So Darren, you have a soldering iron in the foreground. What are you using that for?
Stained glass. What else?
Ah, I understand that actually.
Hey, here. While we're waiting, I'll give you guys a tour. I'll try not to get you motion sick. So this is my tiny little corner. There's the couch. Back there, I got the light off, but I can turn it on so you can see. I've got my grinder. I've got my printer back on the shelf over here. It's actually printing away. I've got a little rag weighted down by a pair of pliers because it got some dust on it. So trying to keep the dirt out of the extruder.
A nicely improvised filament cleaner.
Yeah, it works. But so this is what I do. This is my current project. It's a Joelbot stained glass window. And as soon as it's done, it will be going to Joel Telling. And I am working on the previous window below it because I don't have anywhere else to put it. It's 34 by 34. But so that's what the soldering iron is for, is the solder.
Okay.
That's fairly impressive work.
Thank you. I'll turn the light back off because it washes me out.
Yeah, my massive work light on up here. So
So does anybody else use a filament cleaner?
Yeah, I sometimes use just like a sponge that I run the filament through. Just like a small sponge like this.
Yeah.
And have that on top of the extruder.
Now, is your filament actually feeding from the top of that case, or is it inside?
Yeah, I have I'm gonna just move the camera. Normally, I have it like this.
Wow.
I have a rack of filaments over there, and the other printer is on top over here. And if I need to use a filament that's in the cabinet, I can route it through this pipe here and up to this printer. So I made this route for the filament to go to the MK2 printer as well.
That's a very nice setup.
Yeah, I'm super jealous.
Yeah, I spent some time on the. I can show you a little bit more inside. I spent some time inside this cabinet, and if I'm trying out just a single roll of filament, I have this holder here, and route the filament through this pipe to the printer. Then I have those stack of filament, and I printed out those guides here. And this is a TPU part here that I store the ends in. And then I have the power bars for the printers, and Raspberry Pi, and a switch for the network, and all the lights. So there's a lot of things going on in this cabinet.
Now, does your printer have the multi-material upgrade?
No, I don't have that.
Are you planning on getting it?
I might get the new multi-material upgrade that the Prusa is developing.
The one for the MK3?
Yeah. But I haven't decided on it yet. But I want to try it out at least.
That's one thing where FDM has an advantage over SLA. That is, my brother has a project where he would like to embed an integrated circuit into the print. But the stuff he needs really needs to be printed SLA. And so embedding an object into it really isn't an option. Because, it'd be in the resin bath as it goes up. So I'm going to see if I can do it with my MK2S for him and see if it'll meet the specs he needs. Because it's very easy to embed an object into an FDM print. But as I say, it's, as far as I know, pretty much impossible to do it with an SLA, or at least with this SLA system. The one trick I have to work is there's a LED that protrudes from it. So I'll have to monitor the print path, nozzle path, very carefully and run through it several times, simulate it, to make sure that the nozzle is not going to try to go over top of that LED.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is damage it or your printer in the process.
Yeah. My luck, I take both of them out.
It's normally how it works.
So are they set up there, Glenn? Do we have somebody there with audio?
Sorry, did we miss something?
Sorry, we were talking to each other.
Just ignoring us as usual.
What, were you asking us a question or what?
Or are you checking to see if we were talking and without our mic on?
Just seeing what you two are up to.
Oh,
Oh,
well, as you guys know, we're at Murph,
Yeah.
and everything's just about Murph.
Yeah.
And those of you guys who didn't get to come to Murph, too bad, so sad for you, because Murph is awesome.
yep.
How big is it?
On a scale of 1 to awesome, it's super awesome.
Did you say how big is it?
Yeah.
Tonight there was, I would say probably 300 or 400 people, but they're expecting 1,700 people tomorrow.
It's got to be what, 10,000 square feet?
Yeah, it's big.
It's a big area.
And tomorrow they expand outside because of the RC racing tournament. So they're saying they're going to be out there with leaf blowers first thing in the morning to clear off the racetrack.
Yeah, so far, knock on wood, the weather has been really beautiful here. And to be honest and sincere with you guys, we're sorry that you're not here with us. We really do miss you being here.
And we can say it is worth the trip. So if you're thinking about it for next year, yeah.
Yeah, make provisions. I mean, it hasn't even officially started. Tonight is kind of like just for everybody to go in and set up, but they don't discourage you from just hanging out. So it was like a bonus day of just getting to meet people and see people, and the people who, sometimes I forget that I'm not talking to just you guys, that there are actually people in the chat.
Yeah.
But at least I think there's people in the chat. I can't see it right now. But, so all of you guys out there watching us too, we miss you guys too. We wish you were here. But it's been really amazing, the people who have come up and introduced themselves. And I've explained that I'm bad with names. And they're like, I'm so-and-so or I'm so-and-so. And it's just awesome. It's just awesome to finally get to face. So,
So Robert's asking what we've seen that's new. The big thing that sticks out to me is the E3D multi-hot end printer is there. So it has the ability to switch between print tools. There's 4 of them in a row. I don't know if you saw it. It's on the table directly across.
Right. It was very nice of you to have something, because to be honest with you, all I did was walk around and talk to the people that I wanted to meet or that I haven't seen since New York Maker Fair. So
there's a lot of like people who know people and stuff like that. There's a lot of friends and stuff. But yeah, that was the big thing. It's there's like 4 hot ends in a row in the back, and it has the ability to basically switch between them at various parts of the track.
I did watch the video that they had, their beta video, but I have not looked. Tomorrow, I promise tomorrow I am going to go to every table by table, and talk to the people and look to see what they have. Xander was super excited because Neres is here, and Xander said, I've looked at all these tables and my rocket's not here anywhere. And I said, well, how about that table over there's got some rockets. And we went over and there was his rocket. So then he had to go find out whose table it was, because Neres wasn't sitting there. And so the guy at the next table said, oh, it's that guy over there in the orange shirt. So Xander goes up to him and says, hey, I love that you printed my rocket. And then Neres just lit up. Oh my God, you're Xander. And just made Xander's day. So I know that doesn't really answer your question, Robert, but I literally walked into the building and, well, I'm going to be honest, I beelined for Joel. I mean, I went right to where Joel was.
And conveniently enough, I was right next to Joel talking to Matter Hackers.
Yeah, James was standing right there. So I punched him in the face.
It's true.
And
luckily, no marks, because he punches like a child.
I punched like a girl.
Yeah.
But I knocked him down.
I wasn't going to be sexist, so I was a child.
Yeah, because there's some big girls. Yeah. There's some big girls. Broke-ass Wonder Woman is here, and she put a hurting on somebody.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Dedicated. She was up working out this morning when the rest of us were eating donuts.
Yeah, no, tonight to me was really about just, getting together with the people that I haven't seen in a while, and some of the people that I've never seen in person at all.
Yeah,
and,
it's me.
Yeah, and
That's for 2 times, though, the first time and the last time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's that, I guess.
I feel like we just hijacked this for a solid 5 minutes.
Can you tell that I'm really ramped up tonight?
He's been drinking Coke.
It doesn't show at all. No.
Yeah, I couldn't
tell. If you guys are even remotely thinking about coming here, even if you're not going to do it every year, do it once.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to a maker fair, yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah. If you've ever been to a maker fair, this is like that on crack as far as 3D printing goes.
Because it's all it is.
It's just 3D printing.
You know what? The other thing we saw today, and this is super awesome. Maybe this isn't that new, but there's a guy walking around with samples because he has a filament that prints off that is metal infused. But the way it's designed is that after you've printed your item, you basically I don't. What's the term
You
for
fire it?
Yeah, you fire it, and basically the plastic burns off, the metal bonds, and you're left with a solid metal object that you can polish.
Yeah,
And
you've seen a lot more stuff than I did.
I
should have hung out with you.
Yeah, well, I was there for like a few hours before you.
Oh
did,
yeah,
so.
yeah.
But yeah, so you're just walking around with solid metal objects that were 3D printed, and then you just heat them to the point where the plastic burns off.
I gotta find that guy.
Yeah.
So that guy's watching. Please find me.
He's there. He's there selling samples, like a spot, like 3 or 4 coils like this for like $20.
I was just trying to read the chat. No, I spent a good chunk of time with Nick and Kevin from MakerBox. Love those guys. I just love what they do. I don't know. To me tonight really was about the people, and tomorrow I will get some video footage, and I'll be a real YouTuber tomorrow and actually try to get some coverage.
I did grab some quick, like I did some panning around. I got the more like business side of things, so I will have a little bit of footage to toss up. I'm not doing any interviews or anything, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna interview either. I'm not good at that. But there was something really cool that I seen too. There was this kind of a short guy walking around with a Delta printer on his back.
I did not see that.
That was Mitch.
Oh, I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see
No.
Mitch? Oh my God, that was so funny. And then so he's got a Raspberry Pi Zero, and it's kind of like mounted where his spine is, and it's got a camera. So he's like, well, I can take a selfie of you. You just gotta like squat down and put your face. Now I've never met Mitch in person before. This is like, so I shake Mitch's hand, I give Mitch a hug. I'm like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. And then Mitch is like, hey, put your face in my butt and I'll take your picture. Which is pretty much what it came down to.
That's quite the pickup line.
So, but it was awesome. It was awesome. But I do wish you guys are here. You know, it's like I was talking to guy, what was his name? Daniel something. Something about a boat. Daniel Norrie.
Daniel Norrie.
So yeah, I got to meet Daniel Norrie, and
should we say what we're in the process of doing then?
oh yeah, that's all right.
So I've got the cherry printer, but I also have the Ender in the room, and Glenn here wants a Benchy for Daniel Norrie to sign, so we're gonna print one of those off right quick.
Yeah, because I forgot to bring one, so stupid me. But no, so I forgot where that story was going now. I got to meet Daniel Norrie. So no, he said something along the lines of, you know, it's amazing everybody is here, and I said, well, no, not everybody. And then I went down a list of like 20 people that I wanted to be here, you know, and yeah, so you guys that didn't come, you suck.
Mm.
Sorry for stealing. I tried. Sorry for stealing the whole thread. What is the topic tonight?
It's why Glenn's a jerk, and you just highlighted it by hijacking. So.
Yeah.
Well, we were currently working on talking about what everybody's projects are, and then going through like Murph stuff. You pretty much covered that.
Oh yeah, we can definitely cover the Murph stuff.
Yeah, gotta be good for something.
You know, did everybody get to go?
Like talk, you mean? Not yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, did everybody get to talk about their projects?
I was late coming in. I just popped in unannounced, so.
Well, I did too from the center downstairs, and then, but I talked to a guy here tonight that has he's got a full-size R2D2, which is on my list of stuff that I'm going to do, and he said that it was about 90% 3D printed, and
10% actual person stuff.
Right? No. Yeah, some of it was CNC'd and stuff like that. So, but I talked to him, and he said that the STL files that I have are the right ones to start with, and he was very encouraging, and he spouted off a lot of names of people that I need to go find for ideas and stuff, and of course I'm bad with names, so I don't remember any of it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, is that going to be a fully functional R2?
This is the startup. This is paper. This is not 3D printed.
Really?
Is that through Pepicora?
Yes, this is the Pepicora.
I did so much Pepicora before I actually got the 3D printer, and like there are things that it definitely well, first of all, there's no such thing as an overhang if you're folding it out of paper, right?
Right.
I actually took a stab. I got pretty far into doing the one of the Iron Man helmets. I forget which mark it was, but it was I don't know. It was a lot of fun. It was very fulfilling to have something actually like start to take shape.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Well, it's one thing to print print it out, and I do really enjoy my 3D printer. But when you can sit there and say, yes, I built the Mark I Halo helmet by hand, that is very filling. But no, I build a lot of stuff out of paper. I'm really big into paper craft. But this is the beginning of my R2. This is a statuette model I'm making for my mother-in-law, who's a big Star Wars fan. I mean, she went to the last Star Wars movie dressed up like a Jedi. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. But I'm building this for her, but this is also to prep me up and get ready for a real working 3D model, 3D like 1-to-1 scale R2 that I'm building like robotic style. I want it to move and function and everything.
Yeah, that's my plan too. I want to drive it. I was saying a Wii nunchuck, but this gentleman told me that I should use the PlayStation one instead. And you actually use
with all
two
the
of
access
them.
controls, yeah.
Yeah, you use two of them, and then it's got.
Well, you should probably we'll have to get together because there's actually one. You could use the Wii nunchuck if you want, but there's a program that's already written out that it's called R2 360. It's pre-programmed for an Xbox 360 remote.
Well,
it's pre-set up.
I want it very stealth. Like I don't want to have to hold a big controller.
Right, but the program is pre-built, but it's changeable. You can get any controller put into it that you want, as long as you can match it up to the system.
Okay.
I'll have to show it to you.
Sounds good. Yeah. Now the thread is going, or the stream is going definitely a different way.
Yeah. Back to 3D printing.
Yeah. Well, the other big project that I want to do is I want a full Iron Man armor that I can wear. And now Xander said that he wants a Stormtrooper one. So I'm going to look into printing him a Stormtrooper outfit, but I'm going to make it slightly big on him so that he has a little bit of growth. And then we're going to immediately look into printing another one even bigger so that the one that we print for him, he'll be able to pass on to Zach. And then he'll be able to, because I don't want to print him anything cosplay and then have him immediately outgrow it and only be able to use it, once or not at all. So.
Right. By the time it gets done being printed, he'll have outgrown the sizing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that could very well happen. He's growing like a weed. So.
At that age.
Yep. So, but I think that's my only two big projects. Well, James and I have this uncanny ability to kind of pick the same thing
all the time.
Yeah, and not like we don't talk about it and then be like, hey, let's do this. But
the first example was we were both working on, I think it was the subscriber counter at the same time,
yep,
something like that. Yeah.
Yep, the YouTube subscriber counter.
Yeah. I don't think what else. There's been other stuff.
Yeah, there's just like random, like I'll print something and he'll be like, I just printed one of those, or you know, and it happens a lot. That's why I've started referring to him as my brother from another mother, because somehow we're psychically connected. And so I've been recently researching the mostly 3D printed, is that right? Mostly 3D printed CNC machine.
Yeah.
And
I've already started ordering parts.
Yeah, I haven't even said anything about it. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos and started to research the part. And all of a sudden James is like, I'm going to build one of those. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think you found out because I was talking about the project I was going to do. In my 1,000 subscriber video, I was talking about the project I was going to do. And I said, oh, this summer I'm going to be doing CNC.
Yeah. So I don't know. We just have this weird psychic connection.
Have any of you guys done the mostly printed CNC?
I have not. I have looked into it though, and I'm kind of very much interested in it myself. But
I want to do, because I see a lot of people that do the design and they show it's cutting wood and stuff like that. I want to go a little more in depth with it, because every time I watch videos for stuff like this, nobody's like, here, I took a set of calipers and this is supposed to be 3 millimeters and look at what the actual measurement of it is. So it leaves me going like, okay, it looks like it's doing nice cuts, but if you're not putting items together with it in the video, then you don't know how good the cuts are.
Yeah, your tolerance isn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to do it, and then I'll let you guys know what the tolerances are like on it to see if it's actually.
But that's going to depend a lot too on your spindle motor and the bits that you use.
Yep, no, it's true.
So.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to be able to, with decent software, put in the width of your blade, and it's supposed to be able to calculate. So, like, if your piece of wood is supposed to be a 3 millimeter tab, or well, 3 millimeters is small wood, but
right.
Yeah, it should be able to calculate. Like, here's the total width of the blade. Here's where the blade placement needs to be.
And cut on the outside.
I was like, who's coming in? Is the printer starting? Anyways, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. That's the one of the summer projects. And I have another one that I'm not ready to announce yet. But
I'm probably already working on it.
Yeah, probably. Probably not for this one. I talked to somebody here. We're gonna do something. It's gonna be awesome, and that's as specific as I can be right now.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Don't let that out. Don't let that out. Sorry, guys. That was just a tease. You don't get anything more than that.
Yeah.
So, Martin, tell me how well is that AIO going? Seriously.
Yeah, seriously,
about this or something, but
I'm quite happy about it. The only thing I can find is it's a little bit stringy, but
what temperature are you printing at?
I'm printing at 200, and I turned off C-hop on the printer, and then it got quite good. And that was only that's basically the only issue I had. It was a little bit stringy, but after turning off the C-hop, it's just printing very nicely, and there's only try to find a print. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it on the top of this test print. There's some stringing issues, but other than that, it's just performing very well, and it seems to be getting a good layer adhesion at 200C.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever tried printing that cool with it. I know that I had an issue. There was a part that I was printing that was more vertical than anything else, and it wasn't getting good layer adhesion, and that's when I ended up at 215. And before everybody goes, oh my God, 215, why? It has something to do with the hardened nozzle I bought. Ever since I went to that hardened nozzle, I'm having to print hotter, and I guess it's something to do with the thermal. It's not as thermal conductive.
Yeah, the hardened nozzles, I found that also. I printed out a temperature tower, and it went from 170 to 210, and even at 180, it's pretty strong layer adhesion. So, and I was getting good results with layer adhesion over a broad range of temperatures.
I'm glad that's working out for you. I hate to make recommendations and then have it not work. But I mean, as much AIO as I've run through my printers, I can't imagine I would have good luck with it and you wouldn't, you know?
Yeah, especially because we have the same printer, so.
Right. Yeah. So
Ben's been lying. He runs his at 300 degrees all the time.
Yeah. Really, I just use Maker Geeks filament. No.
Because Maker Geeks is the best filament.
Let's not
filament great again.
Let's not get into a slamming with them, because I spent like 10 minutes talking to the MakerBox guys about how much I hate that filament.
Don't send it to me again. If you give it to me one more time, I print in a poop emoji and mail it back to you.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that it worked out. I really do. I really like the. What are you doing with that?
Don't worry about it.
What?
Good catch.
What?
It's I'm using it as a card reader.
Oh.
Because I don't have a micro SD card.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
You do it is trying to reach out to you. I don't know if you've seen your Twitch or not.
Come hang out with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, he can't hear you. You'll have to reach out to him.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send him a message.
Is he here?
Yeah, he is at Murph. He's been trying to get into the stream, but where he's at, there's so much noise, and he can't even hear us. So he was like, "I'll just go crash with James. It's fine."
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh yeah, we'd love to have you in here. I mean,
love is a strong term, but we can certainly tolerate it.
Well, it would be a threesome at this point.
Oh my God, this is not what I pictured for Murph.
There goes the monetization. Who's hosting tonight? Whose channel are we on?
Geekiz, me. I'm hosting.
Okay, sorry about the monetization.
Sorry about your monetization.
I don't have a monetization yet. Anyways, it's fine. I lost it a while ago.
It's not after midnight, and I've already ruined it.
I set up the print for Glenn for the Benchy, and then I realized that the printer I brought with me is the one I've set up for high detail, so it's got a 0.2mm nozzle. So I'm sitting here and I was click, 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 click. I'm like, oh, I just have the profile at 0.4, so it's trying to push twice as much filament through.
Yeah, that's gonna end.
On the plus side, the text on the bottom of the Benchy was super clear. Okay.
Very nice.
Glenn's dying. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, I am slowly.
Dead King 3D.
Dead King. It'll be just Xander.
I may or may not be drinking tonight, so this may or may not get sillier as we go on. But
Oh, it always gets sillier, drinking or not.
That's all right. I figured I would host the stream for 2 hours before drinking, and then we'll just kind of like say the hell with it from there.
Well, that's it. I mean, the midnight Eastern Standard Time, that 2 hour mark is usually when everything just goes off the rails. Little sidebar, Richard, how are you feeling? Are you getting better? Did Richard die?
Richard's mic is muted. He hasn't realized it yet.
Unmute button. There we go. I'm not feeling sick anymore. I just have very little strength. So I'm getting back into doing things, and which is nice. And all our snow is gone outside, and the lawns are starting to turn green. And so I'm under doctor's orders to get out as much as I can. So.
Yeah, to be out in that sun and get some vitamin D. That was after I was sick, that was the worst part, was that weakness. I only had a week of it, but that general fatigue was horrible. But yeah, no, I'm thoughts and prayers, brother. I'm there with you. So
it was a tough one, and doubly tough because I had some work to do with a goldsmith. Some printing with my SLA, but I just was not able to do it for him. But I met him yesterday, and we had a good chat, and looks like there'll be more work in the future, which would be quite interesting. Making, he'll send me the design, I'll turn it into STL work, turn it into G code, we'll give a print, and he'll take it from there.
Very cool. Very cool.
And who knows, maybe make some bling at the same time. Actually, the first job was from someone who was a D&D player, I think.
It was someone who was what?
A D&D player.
Oh, really?
Dungeons and Dragons, and he was getting a ring made in gold. So it would be a rather expensive ring, but kind of neat design. And so part of it is, for me, a learning curve of what you have to do for the designs. Like one of my concerns was, if he's using it as a mold, is the parts that were straight up. When he pulls it from the mold, do I have to add, say, maybe a 3-degree slant to it? Or can it stay straight up? It turns out for the stuff that's small, you can leave it straight up. But then you get the Droid Fusion 360 is you can go change those settings, just get to the part where you did the extrude and just change the angle by 1 degree or whatever you need and rerun with that. So it'll be a learning curve. And also part of the learning curve is what's the best resins to work with. There are some that you can use like a lost wax casing, but he doesn't need it with that. For the ring that I was supposed to do, he ended up getting a guy CNCing it by a very small one. You could see the grooves from the CNC on it, and he was able to work around that. But with an SLA print, that wouldn't be there.
Cool. Yeah, I was talking with Neres tonight, and he's got a I always want to call it a Florida Sun, an FL Sun SLA printer, and he's getting pretty amazing results out of that cheap box.
I was talking to my contact at GearBest, and apparently the FL Sun resin one's been going so well that they're having trouble actually keeping them in stock right now. So I don't know if that's still the case, but
I see Matt.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Hey Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, just hit a rest stop on the turnpike in Pennsylvania, out halfway to Pittsburgh on our way out to Murph. So I figured I'd jump in the stream and say hey to everybody.
Howdy. Looking forward to seeing you here.
Can't wait to be there.
Yeah, you should have been here already. Click your heels together and say there's no place like Murph.
That's an instant.
Yeah, we got
like what's it called?
Psych ward.
The psych ward. There you go.
Yeah. We got about 7 hours yet of driving. We'll be at Murph about 6 a.m.
Why aren't you here yet?
Because you didn't come pick me up, Joe Mike.
You're out of my way. Like way.
I'm out of your way. Only by a little bit.
Oh, whatever.
Your Mike looks like he's at the club.
Yeah.
I what?
You look like you're at the club.
You're in the nightclub.
If the night, if by nightclub you mean Chili's, then yes.
How come we can't hear you, Joe Mike? Your mic is real muffled.
I have to go through these ear pods, and maybe
You're like Joe Muffled Mike.
Can you hear me better? Hello.
That's your nose.
We can see your brain now.
It's not funny.
Yeah, man. I'm surrounded by a crowd.
Look at all the beards. Tony Ryan is noticing that everybody has beards. It will not be me, though.
Yeah.
I think I just got my check.
Your name is it?
Yeah, see.
Glenn.
The beard guys and then the other guys.
See, Murph's it's not the 3D printing meetup. It's actually the beard groomers meetup.
Yeah.
That's funny because I actually just went and asked Jerry for beard grooming advice. Literally like 10 minutes ago. I think that's correct. That's got a Stella and shrimp fajitas. Potatoes.
All right, well, hey guys, I'm gonna jump off again and get on the road.
All right, man. Drive safe.
I'll see everybody at Murph, and I got the stream going, so I'm watching you.
All right,
have a safe trip, Matt.
Yeah,
Yep,
cheers.
see you guys.
Drive safe.
Yep.
Sorry, now I'm watching the chat. So
Yeah, one of us has got him. I reached out to John and said he's more than welcome to join us, but I don't know if he's paying attention anymore.
who's that?
Was it John that asked to join us?
I don't remember.
No.
I'm really tired.
Yeah, I can tell.
It was John that asked to join us, right?
I think so. You do it.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, that's John.
So
Do you want me to go over to John? I'll go over to John. Hold on.
Oh, John, you do it, John.
I get nervous whenever I say somebody's real name, and then people are like, "Oh, I don't think that's who it is," and I'm like, "Oh, maybe I got the name wrong." Because I'm terrible with names.
Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, is John there? Is John with you, Joe Mike?
Hold on.
You're hanging out right now, or are you just watching the video?
Oh, I'm on.
So you're right now. You're live streaming.
I'm live streaming.
Yeah. John's not coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Say
John was asking
hi
something with him.
to Travis.
Oh, there's that guy that ran away from me like 3 times tonight.
And
I met Heather, but I didn't meet Travis.
there's Garrett.
There's Garrett. I got to meet Garrett. He didn't run
We
away.
actually have a whole other table. So there's the main table, and then there's this other table.
You know, I'm a little offended that I didn't get an invite to this. I did?
Chill. What?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Where?
I had too much beer.
Joel was talking about it.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are at Chili's, right?
We're at the Chili's.
Yeah, that looks like a chili.
Yeah.
Like flipping everybody's here.
Yeah, we can barely hear you, Joe Mike.
Yeah, it's 11 our time here. We can be drunk in this stream. It's past 11. Okay, I'm gonna mute.
Tony Ryan said, "Why does Glenn not have Fun King 3D tattooed on the top of his head? I don't do needles."
Get henna tattoo.
Yeah.
Just get it reapplied every few months.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, when you came on, I gave a little tour. Did you get to see any of that?
Probably not. It was a little bit of weird when I first came on, and then I was standing in an elevator with a dude, and who apparently was not here for Murph.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
Glenn,
did
so I've got
say
something
kindly
for you.
my 3D printer.
that's
Glenn,
an awkward conversation.
Glenn, that's what I'm working on right now.
Look at that.
Wow, that one looks much nicer than mine.
Hey, you got what you asked for. I'm sorry the post office sat on it, but
Yeah, I was going to say,
got it.
you made what I asked for. I didn't get what I asked for.
That's true. Yeah. Today I got a little bit further on the breastplate. I got the D in for 3DPN.
Yeah,
I got to do the hole in the D, and of course the eyes and the arms and the rest of the chest. But that's how far I'm at so far.
That is turning out so cool. That is so cool. I love that glass used in the back.
I will tell you, it is infinitely harder than your window because of all these small little thin pieces that are a quarter the width of my finger.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have the patience to do what you do. Oh, no, you took it away.
I did.
I can't see.
How do you cut the glass in curves and like in the small details? How do you cut it into shape?
That's actually a good question. So my favorite set of pliers are these ring star pliers, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you a good view of that, but it's got a rubber O-ring in there with a little plastic nub, and so that allows me to cut curves. And I think today I may have cut one of the smallest curves ever performed on a sheet of glass. That's the curve. That's the tip of my finger.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And it didn't break. It came off in one piece. That's how I made the D. I just had to grind out the middle.
I'm gonna have to pull the stream up on my tablet so I can see. It's very hard to see. You know, like at home we have multiple monitors and stuff, and you know we can kick stuff around. But James is over here actually doing some work at the same time. So right now I can't see you guys. So, so you'll have to verbally. You have to verbally smile so I can hear you smiling. You know, I'm not saying that the stream revolves around me. You know, I'm not. Okay, yes, I am. No.
It revolves around him based on my analysis of the interaction since we got here.
Yes, yes.
He's getting all coked up.
I am getting coked up. Woo! This isn't Canadian Diet Coke, is it?
Yeah, it's the good stuff.
It's going to make me say A, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you're a bit of an a-hole. Shove off, you hoser.
Take off, you hoser.
They're really anti-Canadian down here, let me tell you.
Yeah, I can tell that.
I'm going to take my poutine and my maple syrup, and I'm going to go back across the border.
Well, it's still winter. We have all our snowboards, snowbirds getting ready to come back to Canada. They live in Florida during the winter.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that they're leaving. They'll be able to finally go out to dinner. The fact that they're Canadian, just the fact that they're snowbirds.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody once asked me what the best time to go out to eat was, and I said usually between Easter and Halloween. No, it just seems like they're staying longer and longer down there. But so the weather here is actually beautiful. It's a little bit chilly, but I mean, like the skies were beautifully clear today and stuff. When I woke up this morning in Kentucky, it was 28 degrees. And the car didn't like it, but
28 degrees, you poor babies.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't normally get to 28 degrees where I'm from.
That's fair. 28 degrees is summer weather in Canada.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out what 28 degrees is because we're on the Celsius scale here. So.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be -2-ish, -3. 32 degrees is 0 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. You know, it's, you know, part of being Canadian is we give directions saying, you go 10, I'm not even drinking and I can't talk. You go 10 kilometers one direction, hang a left, go another mile, and then it's about 4 minutes to the place you want to get to. So you have to understand miles, kilometers, time. With that, you can get to your destination.
Well, to do the conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius, if you think about the fact that 32 degrees is 0 Celsius and you go to 28 degrees, it works out to be exactly, it was darn cold.
Well, I can tell you right now, we're sitting at 3 Celsius. We're going up to 11.
Well, then we were watching the weather report this morning at breakfast. You know, at the hotel breakfast, and the kids were bummed because we got word that it was going to be warmer here than they had originally said, and that there wasn't going to be snow on the ground. So Zach and Xander were really bummed that they weren't going to get to see snow, and so the weather report came on, and they were talking about this storm coming down, and that, you know, we could get some snow, and they were so excited and stuff. And the people sitting at the table next to us were just kind of like looking at us like we were nuts. And my wife said, "Oh, we're from Florida," and they went, "Oh, we just left Florida and we're on our way back home in Indiana." And I said, "Well, we just left our home in Florida and we're on our way to Indiana."
Question for the 3D printing. We saw some earlier. We talked a little bit about cleaning filaments, you know, having the sponge in place, or the nicely home-built cloth hanging there with a pair of pliers. But on the other hand, what about humidity? Has any of you had problems with humidity attacking your filaments?
Not really, actually. I have a roll of ABS that I unpacked 2.5 years ago, and it still prints like it's fresh every time I put it in, because all I use it for is testing. I don't do a lot of ABS testing or printing myself. But my basement's pretty dry. Like, dehumidifier would never fill up in there. So, well, I guess it would over enough time, right? Because I mean, you have to have desert air for it not to. But
right, yeah. Right. I keep my filaments in a each one in a gallon Ziploc bag with desiccants. I'm a little lazy sometimes. If I throw a roll of filament on the printer and then and I'm printing a couple things and I'm going to come back and print later, that roll may hang out there for a few days, you know. But typically the only thing I've seen is the first few inches. Like you'll if you take a roll that's been laying around and not in a bag, and you pull it out of the little holder on the
snap?
It'll snap.
Yeah.
So
I do have that.
Yeah, I kind of bend it a little bit until it stops doing it, and that's where I snip it off with the side cutters.
Yeah, I have had that happen. That's true.
That's a great tip, Glenn. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm a big advocate. As some of you may know, I'm a big advocate of AIO robotics filament. And somebody has said to me, you know, like a couple people have said to me that they've noticed that it's a very brittle filament. But that's the only place I've ever had it brittle is on the end. It's like that end has sucked up moisture.
Yeah.
So you might lose 2 or 3 inches, but you know.
Losing 2 or 3 inches in the filament game isn't such a big deal.
No, not so bad with filament.
Not too bad.
So,
yeah, for the moisture control, I printed myself out the spanner hand spool enclosure.
I do love that spool holder, the spool containment system, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It just looks good.
And I have the Matrahacker Snell Nex filament in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been sitting here, and there's a lot of desiccants in the back. So I haven't printed
how much
with it.
Take to print that?
I'm not sure. It was I don't know. It's quite a lot.
At least a half a kilogram, if not more, into that.
Yeah, at least half a kilo. I would guess.
I did see somebody, actually, it was kind of interesting. Somebody printed one of those off, but they made it so it mounts to the side of their printer. So like the Bowden tube goes directly from there into the feeding system, but it was part of their printer. So I thought that was a neat design.
Yeah, they have made several versions that you can also wall mount the back and print out different piece here in the back, so you can mount it to a wall.
Mm-hmm.
It will hang on the wall. So there are some variations of the box.
Yeah, my only issue with stuff like that is I would want to have one for every roll of filament.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, where are you storing your filament when it's not in that box? So I would want to have one for every roll of filament. And holy cow, I mean, I have a whole cabinet full of filaments, you know. So.
Well, I think those ones are supposed to be reserved mostly for like nylon, right? Like nylon, which, I mean, leaving it out for an hour can ruin it.
Right.
So you feed it out of that so that it never has to leave the box.
Yeah. just have it for the Nylon X filament. My
I think
PLAs.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, sorry. I haven't run into any issues with my PLAs that I have in the printer cabinet, but that normally stays quite warm because I'm always printing. So I don't think I have a moisture problem in there.
I think if you're gonna have a ton of filament, then you go with something like Thomas's approach, where you've got like a Rubbermaid container with the feeder tubes out of it, and you fill the bottom with desiccant, and then you can have probably 8 or 12 rolls in that thing.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I myself,
We're
sorry.
kind of bogarting the thread or the stream. Other people talk.
Oh, we're asking questions of you.
Yeah, but this isn't an interview, Glenn and James thing.
Oh no, it is. You just didn't realize.
Well, the reason I brought up the filament.
Oh, you got me roped in.
I keep my filaments in Ziploc bags, but with whatever packets I have around tossed in there too. But really, this is not a humid climate. But when I was first learning about 3D printing, it seemed everywhere I looked, they really stressed keeping your filament dry and how important that was. But as I said, once you get into actually doing it, we got Matt. I don't know if you've seen pictures or video of him in his basement. Everything's hanging on a pipe over the head. Nothing's covered. He does have a dehumidifier in the area, but that's about it. So other than the nylons and and my brain's gone blank, the filaments that are water soluble, those obviously you really have to look after. Everything else, most people tend to or seem to not do much with it. Although I have seen various approaches for filament drying.
Yeah, well, Joe Mike just did a really good video about which, again, perfect timing because I've just been looking into dehydrators, food dehydrators, but he did a good video about that and how there's a 3D print system that you can buy for $100, or you can buy the same exact food dehydrator for like $30 and just cut the insides of the trays out. So I've got that in my Amazon.
Yeah, that was a great video.
Yeah, it was. He's good. I'm glad he's not still. Maybe he's monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say too many nice things about him because then his head will swell up and stuff. But no, his videos are always very good. But
I don't think you have to worry about him. He was busy drinking, I think.
What's that?
Well, I don't think you have to worry about Joe Mike because last we saw him, the party seemed to be going strong and alcohol was involved.
That's probably very true.
Who goes to Goshen to drink?
What else is there to do in Goshen? This town is so little. It's just, and it's literally in the middle of nowhere. So.
And it's 50% Amish.
Yeah. I had to explain to the kids why there was horse and buggies outside of the Culver's hamburger place. And then I kind of pre-warned them not to stare at the Amish people, I said, they're just people. They just dress different, but I don't even know where that was going. Oh, we were talking about the dehydrator. I haven't played with any nylons because not that I have no way to dry them, but I'm not comfortable putting my filaments in the oven. That's where I make my food, so like, I don't want to be baking filaments in there. So I definitely want to look into a dehydrator so that I can play with nylons because I'd like to make some stronger parts.
Yeah, I hear you there.
Yeah, I agree with the. I feel very uncomfortable with the idea of putting any of this stuff into the oven where I make my food.
And that's actually very serious coming from a guy that used to have a drill press in his kitchen.
Well, yeah, that's different. It's got a new home. It's moved into its workshop. It was only on the bench. It never went on the stove.
What I tend to keep an eye out for now is like larger toaster ovens or whatever at like thrift shops or whatever. Even if it's like a 10 or 15-year-old one, if you're just using it to bake filament that's big enough to take a roll, then why not have it? Then you can store it when you're not using it. Yeah. You don't even need the full-size oven unless you're doing like 20 rolls at the same time.
Any other tips for care and feeding of filament?
Well, you touched on something that I'm very curious about. The water soluble filaments, which I haven't played with because I don't have anything that dual extrudes yet. Your best. If they want to send me one, I won't say no. I wonder, like humidity has to affect that.
Yeah.
But does the humidity start to dissolve it? So
I imagine it would break down.
Is it technically making the filament smaller?
Or weaker, at least?
Or weaker?
Yeah.
That's a really good. Somebody that has some of that water soluble filament should do like a little experiment.
Leave a chunk in a container and see if it eventually disappears.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, use a caliper, measure it all out, and then leave it in a very humid place. Put it in the bathroom, put it somewhere in the bathroom so that you're taking showers and stuff.
Yeah.
And see if it starts to size-wise break down or what the effects are.
You could even just weigh it because the mass should decrease over time.
True. So somebody out there that wants content for their channel and has some water soluble filaments.
$1 million idea.
Boom. And when you get 100,000 subscribers, be kind and kick some our way because we came up with the idea.
Yep.
Exactly.
I guarantee if you search YouTube, somebody's already done it.
Glenn, can you imagine if a channel that had 100,000 plus people gave you a shout out?
I don't know. I don't know what would happen.
It'd be exciting. I bet you could blow up to 5,000 subscribers.
55.
Well, it was great fun. Was it Angus we watched do the rollover to 100,000 where it went over and went back and over and back?
Oh, yay! Oh.
Yeah, I think everybody was unsubscribing just as much as subscribing just to play with him.
Well, but they had the live stream set up at a Matter Hackers meetup. Yeah. So they had a big TV out there, and everybody in the crowd was watching it. So they were all on their phones, subscribing and unsubscribing.
Everybody wanted to be 1,100,000.
Yeah.
And now look at it; it's over 200K.
192,000.
Oh, Joel. No, but we're talking about Angus.
Oh, Angus. Yeah.
Angus is over 200,000. I think.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And he's not even here.
No, it's very sad that he's not here.
What kind of maker doesn't go to Mert?
One that lives in Australia because it's very expensive.
I was jabbing everybody else.
That's a bit of a hike, but
yeah.
Well, we have to wait for SpaceX to get their BFR working.
For the world in 20 minutes space shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they perfect that. We'll have teleportation.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hate to keep rubbing it in, but you guys are missing a really good time, and this is only the first day, and it didn't start until 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm already telling you that, and I didn't get there until after 4. And I was right now,
just before 3.
Yeah, you guys are missing.
I'm debating on leaving now and just coming and sleeping on James's couch.
Go for it.
Do it.
You show up tonight, I'll let you sleep on the couch. And I'll even make sure Glenn doesn't spoon with you. That's how dedicated I am.
Right.
I'll get a spray bottle out. We'll treat him like a cat. Get off the couch,
No, it was very not surreal. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but when I walked in there, of course I was attacked with anxiety going in because I'm introverted.
Sure, you walked in.
But it took me a few minutes to get out of the car because there were so many cars parked out there and stuff, and I didn't know what to expect. But it almost reminded me of a LAN party. Like you walked in and it was a bunch of nerds and geeks sitting at tables, 3D printing stuff, and that's really what it came down to. And then we were in 10 feet into the building, and we were mobbed. They were like, "Oh my God, Fun King's here!" Actually, it was Jim Carter that caught us first. So I got my selfie with him that I have to put it up on Twitter so I can stand a chance to win his printer. I don't mind taking home another one. I could always use another one.
It's got a broken SD slot.
I don't care. I put everything on Octopi. He's given a screen for Matter Hacker, a Matter Hacker control.
Oh, geez. Well,
yeah.
You don't need this.
I mean, poof. What a good deal. So I feel bad. We've been kind of ignoring the chat. Well, I've been ignoring the chat. So
Tanner 3D is here. I heard that Tanner 3D got to hang out with Country 3D.
Yeah. Country 3D and Tanner went and had some breakfast. Dragon Monk says he has an extra bed. I say that, you know, I'm bad with this. Is Dragon Monk a dude?
I don't know. We don't ask anymore.
I just assumed that. Well, then I just said he. So if that was wrong, please correct me. That was bad. And I know Dragon Monk is here, so we will be on the floor tomorrow. Please find me. Please find me.
And punch him.
And yeah, you can slap me. Don't call me a girl.
You got to send like 19 different random people up to him now.
Well, that doesn't matter. I'll meet as many people as possible. I don't, you know, even with my introvertedness and my social awkwardness, I want to meet everybody. So for those of you that know John Mack, well, even for those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell the story anyway. But so John Mack had come up to us and he's like, you know, like, hi, you know, I'm like, hey, and he's like, I'm John Mack. And I went, wait a minute. And I had to step back and go like this and look at him through my finger. I'm like, yep, you're John Mack. Because the only time I've ever seen him was in his little tiny avatar. But they brought Xander a drone. They gave Xander a drone with extra batteries.
It looks like a decent one.
I mean,
through the garbage bag. I couldn't see the box.
Yeah, no, it just, I mean, you guys just blow me away. You amaze me at your generosity, mainly towards my kids. I mean, I love people doing nice things for me, but you do nice stuff for my kids, and it's an extra mile for me for sure. So, and then yeah, I don't know why I felt compelled to tell that story, but I did anyway. So I guess I just rubbed it in that Xander got a free drone and nobody else did.
Yeah, that was the entire purpose of the story. He's trying to encourage others to bring in more drones.
Translated to, he's got a drone to play with as soon as Xander goes to sleep.
Yeah.
See who can outdo that drone.
I'd say be careful, you end up losing his hair, but
that's what happened. I got a drone stuck in it.
See my latest video?
Yeah.
I intended to fly towards my face. I didn't intend for it to get that close. There was a little bit of like,
No, yeah, that was great. I like that video.
This has a flat surface. It can be a landing pad.
Anything
you walk around with the drone on top. If I want to see something, just launch it off.
Maybe I told the story just to rub it in that we're at Murph and you guys aren't.
Yeah. I can only blame my bad planning.
Well, you know, you have a little bit more excuse because of being so far away. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, the rest of you, there's no excuse.
I mean, it's not like Daniel nor Aiden show up from Sweden.
Yeah,
and
Tom.
And Tom's coming. Yeah, he wasn't there tonight yet, but
and Joseph
Edward from Magic Goo is here from Malta. You know. No, we understand.
Yeah.
I felt bad too because he was hanging out in the breakfast room this morning and we were chatting and stuff. And I'm not fully like socially good, so I forget to ask who people are and stuff. We're just chatting and stuff. And then all of a sudden I check my phone and like Magic Goo has followed you on Twitter. I'm like, why is Magic Goo following me all of a sudden? Like I'm not complaining. And then so I was like, yeah, you know, you're talking to the guy from Magic Goo this morning. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, when I was checking the flights. It's similar in length as Las Vegas to New York, so it's 5 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. But so it's not that bad for the flight. Only my scheduling is to blame. So I would have should have planned it like in 2 months in advance, but not saying to my wife just 3 weeks ago or something that I wanted to go.
Yeah, well, when I went to print my tickets, which we haven't really had a need for, I don't know.
I think tomorrow they're giving us name tags if you're
name tags and T-shirts and stuff. But I ordered my tickets in the beginning of October. So I mean, I've been waiting for this since October, and I ordered the tickets without even knowing if I was going to get to come.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't know if this was going to work out. So, and then I was still kind of iffy because we were planning to go to Bay Area Maker Faire this year. And
that was mostly because I was like,
well, because it was going to be, because you were going to go. So then I could have, you know, met up with you and a couple other people that are going there that didn't come here. And I've never been to California. I wanted to see California, but I was kicking it around with Joel, and Joel said, absolutely, Murph is better than Bay Area Maker Faire. It's all 3D printing. And I said, yeah, that's good enough for me, you know, so.
Yeah, so then he started basically messaging me every day saying, go to Murph.
And I'm like, dude, you got to come to Murph. Dude, you got to come to Murph. Dude, you got to come to Murph. And then so
for me, that should not have worked out in any way, shape, or form. I had no vacation time left. I had, like, we just gotten through the bills with the cat and all that other stuff. But basically every issue I hit, I asked my boss, can I start working 12-hour days to make up for the time? He's like, sure. So we started going through the funding, and yeah.
Yeah, and then James went in and killed his boss so that nobody would know he was going.
Whoa.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. No, so you know, like I would have probably still ended up going to Bay Area Maker Faire had James not been able to come here and only to be able to go there. So, because for some reason I've invited him to Florida and he won't come. I'm like, dude, come, we'll go to the beach. And he's like, nah, I don't like Florida.
Ron wants me to go there too, because he's saying that he's got a place that
he's got a house, yeah. But the problem is his house is near me and there's really nothing around me to see.
I'd just be going down to see you and high five Xander's monitor.
Yeah, high five Xander's monitor off the table.
Would you be
heading to Florida someday
for me to come visit?
That's yeah, I could set that up.
Yeah.
I'll come visit you someday. I want to see a SpaceX launch or something like that. So.
Yeah, you can actually you can see the rockets go up from my front yard.
Wow.
Sometimes when they go really bad, you can see them land from its front yard too.
Yeah, we don't talk about those. But
oh my God, check out the hat.
So, you've never seen
Richard's hat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen the hat?
I haven't seen the hat. I've only done the second one that I've been part of.
No, this has become a trademark for me. I picked it up when I got that full body scan at Comic Expo. I picked this hat up there as well, and it just fit in with the beard, and it's become a thing. So
it looks very dapper, sir.
Well,
I don't use the terms dapper liberally, but
I think everybody should be wearing these.
Perfect. You got to figure out a 3D print one because I want a 3D printed top hat.
I can. You know what? I can 3D model that. If you guys want a 3D printed one, I will model it.
I totally want a 3D printed top hat because I have a top hat that I wear at Christmas time. So when I have all my Christmas lights on and stuff, and people stop to watch the show, I have a top hat that I put on when I go out to
Do you want me to 3D model it so that you can embed lights in it?
Oh yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I will.
Well, this is supposed to be part of steampunk culture. So something like this, I can just picture, a string of LEDs around it and let it glow away.
Oh yeah.
So we have 2 benchies printing in this room right now.
2 benchies.
2 benchies.
We have 2 benchies printing in this room, and the dude that designed it is here.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Glenn just said, if I'm going to throw a 3D print at somebody's head, I want to throw the benchy at the designer's head. So.
Right, yeah. I'll make him eat it. Be like,
that's fair.
Eat this benchy.
Don't be too surprised if the next show that he puts together is Jail King 3D for the 3 months he's going to get for assault. Okay, guys, today's topic is we're going to show you how to make toilet wine.
You make some hooch. So, Rennie, have you been doing any other 3D printing? I know that you were doing the frames for the windows. Have you been doing any other 3D printing?
I got one going right now, Glenn. Probably can't see anything yet, but I'll show you. That's where Zadim was talking about the ghetto cleaning setup. I got a little cloth here weighed down by a pair of pliers. It's cleaning the dust off the filament, but we're printing a couple of minis. I don't know how well you can see. They're going to be actually little mini Kinku monks if they work out. But I got the old rag held down by the pair of pliers as a filament cleaner.
Yeah, if they need to make a machine that could produce things like filament filters. If they just had a machine that could replicate whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Why don't you print I mean, that's fine. I mean, it's makeshift, but you can.
It's just because this roll got some dust on it.
He's saying you should print something to hold the rag.
I have to design it.
Box, and it's got like you stuff it with a piece of sponge or whatever. How does everybody feel? Because somebody asked me the other day if I'd ever done filament oiling. Have any of you guys ever done that? Like use the clean thing, then you basically fill with oil, and it's supposed to essentially season
like vegetable oil or something.
It's supposed to like season the hot end so you don't get jams.
I've heard of it, and my understanding is you can have problems with your hot end because the oils can build up and harden there.
Well, but what if you use like a light machine oil?
What's that?
What if you use like a light machine oil? Wouldn't that should be okay?
How would that impact how you have layer adhesion?
Yeah, it's got to be something that'll actually burn off.
I know it's silly. Maybe motor oil is meant to handle high temperature. You need something that doesn't turn into like basically like carbon at 200 degrees C.
Well, and I think they do the vegetable oil because PLA plastics are based on.
Yeah, it's starches.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, it's like
it makes sense.
It's a vegetable base, so I think that it then doesn't cause any issues. I don't have any problems. I'm not sending anything through my hot end.
What's the advantage of oiling your filament?
Well, I guess essentially it was like if you've got a metal hot end, like an all-metal hot end with a metal heat break, and there's imperfections, the oil would stop the filament from bonding to the imperfections. Tony Ryan says no oil. You don't need no stinking oil. I added no stinking to it. I was trying to make it more colorful. But...
Oh no, he said no oil! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! So don't put any oil in your. Don't do it.
Yeah, I think Stefan at CNC Kitchen in Germany, he made some tests of how oiling the filament affected strength, and he at first got some results showing it was affecting layer adhesion, but then he, I think, used less oil, and then it didn't matter so much.
I was thinking coating a layer would probably stop it from sticking well, because it's creating a barrier, right?
Yeah, I think
if you use too much, it definitely would.
You'd have a sticking problem.
Yeah.
I would think at this point, if it was the right answer, the Prusa would have it built in.
Yeah.
CME CNC would be building it in. Lulzbot would be building it in. You know, like the guys that really know what's going on. Ultimaker would have it.
That's also like filters. Filters can be helpful, but the pros don't put them in yet because the sponge that you put in there, or whatever you're using to collect the dust, it eventually breaks down and becomes dust itself, which means that it can actually cause the problem you're trying to prevent.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
So yeah. I think you have to change the filter piece so frequently that it's if you're not doing diligent, because stuff like the Mark III is designed to be like really bring it down to somebody who's just getting started can get really good prints out of it. So you don't want step one to be once a week change the sponge, right? So,
yeah, when I'm using those sponges, I'm constantly cleaning them out, and I'm mostly using to cut here. Because
how often do you have to flat out replace them? Because I'm assuming it dries out over time, right? So then it's going to break down.
Yeah, I'm always replacing those. Usually when I change rolls, I put in a new one.
Well, not only that, but you have a filter. I mean, that's what, about 20 millimeters across, 15 millimeters across. But you're only using the little tiny center part of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Normally I stick it in the side and then make a new hole and then move it a little bit. So I might use a piece like this 3 times, 3 holes in it.
And all you're doing is putting a hole in it that's big enough to pass the filament through, and then it like you don't even need a holder for it, right? It just sits outside the extruder.
It just sits on top of the extruder motor where the filament goes in. So it just.
I have a MIG welder, and it's got a filter. I don't know what else to call it. Inside the machine before it goes down the hose to the gun, and it's made out of a material that's almost like a U-Haul packing blanket.
Oh, so it's not like weird fibrous.
Yeah, it's like it's got like red and blue strands and stuff in it, and then it's got a metal clip that goes around to hold it. But I wonder if a material like that would work. I mean,
because it's doing the same thing, right?
Right. Well, I think the welder is a little less sensitive, though. But I mean, you don't want dust going down in there. You don't want to clog up the gun on the welder either. And you don't want the dirt in your weld.
No, for sure.
So I don't know. I might have to look at that and see if that becomes stringy. Will that send fibers down the filament? So instead of using sponge, everybody would be stealing U-Haul blankets and making filament filters out of it.
Yeah, and like when if I'm using filaments that are rough on the surface, like some glitter filament I'm having, or some filaments that are not pure PLA, I remove the sponge so it won't break down into.
Yeah, I would think any type of an abrasive filament, if that filament requires a hardened nozzle, I definitely wouldn't put a filter on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Martin, with the ones that you have been using after you put a roll through, what does it look like? Do you see a dirt buildup on that sponge before you toss it out?
Yeah. Normally I see like 25 cat hairs standing out of it. So it's mostly cat hair that got stuck in it, because the cat hair seems to fly everywhere. And sometimes I just pull out the hairs before I put it on new filament, but normally I create a new hole through the sponge.
Gunner in the chat said, "I dare you to put some light machine oil on it. Please record the smoke."
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
He also said that he's done some testing. He thinks the dust filter for filament is much more useful than oil. So I guess that would make sense, because I mean, if you're not sending the dust through there, you're not going to have you'll have less likely clogs.
Yeah.
Unless you're using Maker Geeks filament.
Yeah.
God, right back to that Maker Geeks.
Or Robotic.
Hey, don't you be bringing them in?
They bring the 1,000 with their inferior product.
They make good stuff.
Is the dust embedded into the filament with the Maker Geeks, or?
I wouldn't think that it's embedded in there. I mean, unless it's a really poor quality filament. Like some of that Chinese stuff.
Okay, I was setting you up to make another joke.
Some of the stuff like that made USA Maker Geek stuff. No.
Yeah, something like that.
Maker Geek.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the manufacturers would have a dusty environment embedding it into the plastic. Like, nobody's going to store their pellets open. They make chicken feed and 3D filament, and then you get the dust in there. But so then if the filament is coming off the assembly line and they're not bagging it right away, then it could get dusty to the outside. But otherwise, the dust really comes down to us. It's our own fault. So
I blame everybody but me.
Everybody but you?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you're not storing your filament in the bags, or if you're like me and you occasionally will leave a filament roll hanging off the back of the printer for like a week and a half, then you can have problems. Now, Martin, are you using the bags that come with the filament or your own?
Yeah, those are the AO robotics bags. They're resealable.
I find the bags that come with filament, because they're vacuum packed so tightly, that I can never get a good seal on them again. Like, they're just like the zip tie's all mangled, or the zip tie, the zip lock is all mangled.
Yeah, I haven't done any testing of how well they're closed. But...
Yeah, I use just a gallon Ziploc bag that has the double zip, and then I zip it down to about the last inch, and then I suck the air out of there before I zip it up. So I'm probably inhaling a bunch of stuff that's going to kill me, but at least my filament is vacuum sealed.
You had a good run.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, cheap though. I mean, my wife has one of the vacuum seal food deals, and if I've got filament I'm not going to use for a while, like I'm going to save it for later, I stick it in one of there and I just suck all the air out of it and seal it up and call it a day. It goes right back to being just fine. So
that's what I do.
I mean, I'm not saying everybody should go out and buy one of these things and buy all the replacement stuff, but we have it sitting around the house anyways. I just put it to use.
Well, and definitely if it's something, you know, if it's a filament that you only use once in a blue moon, otherwise, I mean, it would be too hard to get in and out of it.
Well, like the nylon filaments and stuff like that. When I use a little bit of it, if I don't use the whole roll, like you said, you leave it out for too long and the crap just goes bad. And it's wasted money.
Well, yeah, you leave it out for too long. That's like 35 seconds, as I fully understand it. So.
And I find the filaments I order from filaments.ca, regardless of the manufacturer, filaments.ca sends bags with the filament, which is quite nice of them.
I've bought a lot of filaments.ca stuff, and their filament still prints after a year or two up on my hanger. It's been, like, I'm not gonna say it's like the utmost quality, but it's been consistent, and consistency is like as important as having a super high quality filament.
I go back to images Matt has shared with us of his setup, and they're all hanging from the ceiling. Nothing's bagged there. So,
my basement, I bought these adjustable curtain rods, or sorry, like for inside closets, and they've got the mounts on either side. So I just took them in half and I mounted them like this, and all my filaments on there. I've got 30 rolls up there, and I just take it down and put it in. Even with the 2 cats, I've never had a jam caused by like cat hair or anything like that.
I need to address something in the chat. Tony Ryan said he will suck the air out of a filament bag, but he won't put the filament in his oven. And I just want to let you know, all my family eats out of the oven, so I want them to be around for a while.
And Glenn's insurance is paid up, so if it kills him, the family's okay.
Right, they can get more 3D printers.
That's right, and less Glenn's.
Yeah, he doesn't want to damage the rest of his family, and his balding head has nothing to do with the filament.
No, that happened a long time ago. No. I'll be up peeing all night. I just said that on the stream.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
In case you're ready to hear, Glenn says he's going to be peeing all night.
Yeah, it's funny. I've said this multiple times, but I'm very introverted and I'm very socially awkward. But for some reason, when I'm behind a camera, I'll just like be anonymous. Yeah, I just let it all roll.
I had to convince him to put his shirt on before he got on cam.
Yeah, I just had a Fun King sticker over each nipple. Wait, are we at midnight yet? Oh, we're almost there.
They're Fun King pasties. What happens in merch stays on the internet.
Yeah, but if it's cold, it looks like Pinocchio.
Yeah,
well, at least you're not in a bathtub. What can we say?
I need about 12 naps.
Just wait until he has a Fun King jacuzzi.
I'm not getting into the jacuzzi with Fun King.
That's not what you said earlier.
Well, but then I found out that the hot tub starts bubbling before you turn on the bubbles when you're in it. He's reading chat now. He's not even paying attention to the insults.
Well, because Matt said a lot of filament extrusion manufacturers have open pellets, and most large places the pellets are shipped in a train grain car. I could see it coming on the train car, but there should be a washing process. But if they're storing it in open barrels, then they're just asking for dust to be in the filament.
But maybe he's saying it doesn't matter that much. Maybe it's getting burnt. Well, it would depend on the type of dust if it's getting burnt off at 200.
Yeah, but even if it got burnt off, that would leave an absence of something. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to do some research and take the time and drive around to all the different filament manufacturers
and demand free samples.
And demand some samples for testing.
Am I the only one that constantly screws up how I do it and you do it because they're
no, yeah, no, I do it all the time too.
This is how you do it.
It actually happened earlier when they said John wanted, you do it wanted to hang out. I thought it was how I do it wanted to hang out. Like, then all of a sudden Matt was at Chili's.
Yeah.
Or at the rest stop.
No, well, I'm serious because it was because John was at. Oh right, yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, see, you're messing it up again.
No, I blame you.
I think that if James and I lived closer to each other, we would just have a comedy YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, we would just do a constant bantering back and forth. I think we could have a good radio program because we we have more radio faces.
I think what Glenn's saying is we don't need you guys. Which is really rude, Glenn. Don't be like that.
Well, to be fair, I think we need to have more 3D printing related podcasts and stuff like that. I think that would actually be an interesting concept to go about doing.
Matt actually was thinking of doing that at one point. I don't know how much or how far along he got along in that project, but it was sort of the best of Friday night sort of thing.
We were going to do it every second Wednesday. We were calling it the Shut Up and Take My Wednesday podcast. We've only done one episode so far, though, so we have a lot of follow through, as you can tell.
See, and I don't really know anything about podcast. I mean, that's just like a radio.
Sorry.
Right?
Well, no, it was gonna be a live
video.
Like this, yeah. Video. But the video is gonna be pretty irrelevant to it. Nobody wants to stare at my ugly mug for 3 hours.
I must admit, I kind of miss having my radio show, but I was the last person in the world that should have one, especially since it was a morning show, and I'm a night person.
Yeah, my family, my parents have always told me that I have the face for radio, so maybe I need to give it a shot.
I keep being told I have a voice for silent movies.
Sounds like we're the two opposite sides on the same coin.
Oh, well, there's a reason why there's paper. You lose out on radio, lose out on video, and what's left? You got to write it up.
Yep. It's
Oh,
been like 6 months since I was able to make it to one of the Friday night live streams. Fridays are just terrible for me usually.
Yeah, he didn't have any excuse tonight. He's like kind of held captive.
It's true. I knew if I didn't come on here, Glenn would just come knock on the door.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure what room it was, so I was just going to knock on all of them.
That's true. Yeah, he was.
I mean, most of the people in this hotel are 3D printer people anyway, so I'd be like, hey, you want to come on the Friday night hangout? Hey, you want to come on the Friday night hangout?
It was weird.
For the one person you were in the elevator with.
Yeah, except for
yeah, because like I had the tablet and it was playing. You guys were talking, and I mean it was playing out loud and stuff. And somebody said something about filament, and the guy didn't even flinch. And I'm like, "Are you here for Murph?" And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Never mind."
Awkward.
He said, "Hey, we're doing a stream on 3D printing. Want to join in?"
On what? Yeah, that was the one guy. Yeah.
So now Glenn has seen the Cherry 3D printer running in real life at full speed and sees how ridiculously unimpressive it is.
Yeah, he said to me, he asked me if I had seen this thing. How'd you put the question? I don't know, something like, had I seen it run full speed? And I'm like, before right this second, I've never seen that in real life ever. So.
And which one is this?
I see in chat
Here,
there.
I'll turn the camera around. So there's a design for a 3D printer called the Cherry 3D printer. And instead of using the NEMA 17 motors, it uses these guys here, which are 28 BYJ stepper motors. And they're super low current. So these ones here are the 12-volt version, but their maximum speed is about 10 to 12 millimeters a second before they just stop working. So here I'm printing a Benchy, and this is the maximum velocity this thing will print at. There we go. That's better. It's not 100% terrible, but so the thing is, when you build this printer, it's still running a standard ramp setup. It's still running a standard hot end. So all you're saving is the $20 on the motors. So I did the tutorial video on how to put it together, and people keep coming to me saying, "Hey, this is going to be my first 3D printer." And I'm like, you probably don't want it to be your first 3D printer because you're not going to want to continue to 3D print if you're printing this fast. So. On the plus side, you could probably run it off a 12-volt battery pack.
Uh-oh.
The silence hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they completely froze.
Yeah, I was already doing chat.
What else? Anything else about care and feeding of filaments, or things that people should watch for? Or actually, better yet, do you know of new filaments that either you know is coming or that you would like to know about that's coming? You know, it was mentioned earlier about the filament with the metal embedded, and then you put it in an oven and blow away the plastic, and you have a metal object. last year, there was a demo, same idea, but with glass. So when you're done, you've baked it off, you actually have a real glass object that you 3D printed from your FDM printer. But past those two, is there things that you'd like to see in a filament?
There's lots of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going, did the system just die on me?
Yeah. They went out and the silence took over.
I've never heard of that. But I'm assuming that's the same type. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, I on my phone I have a program called Fing. Mm-hmm. So here's Fing.
Oh, are we?
We back?
And we're back.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you guys are
back. Back from the gutter, and I brought somebody with me.
Yeah, I don't remember now what we were saying. We were just gone.
Oh, yeah. But while we were gone, we were talking about how we're on dial-up at the hotel.
While we were gone, we were saying that was a really awesome stream, and like.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get to say bye. I think though that honestly, I think I am going to duck out. I mean, this is really a lot of fun, and I love doing this, but.
Yeah, I got to crash too. I got less than 4 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah, and we got to be up early in the morning to
get parking.
To have an awesome time at Murph without you guys.
Yeah. We're all getting matching Murph tattoos, and you guys don't even know where they are.
But we're each going to only get a part, so we all have to stand really close, and then it'll say Murph 2018.
They turned Murph into a pixel art, so everybody just gets a single pixel, and then we're all together. It creates the whole.
Just a dot.
Yeah.
See, this could really work, James. We could really have a thing.
Yeah. I should probably mention that based on the configuration, only the males can get this tattoo.
Does that mean sometimes it's Murph and sometimes it's Murph 2018?
Depends on how excited you are to be at Murph.
It's after midnight. I can say that.
It's true.
So, all right. So if you guys don't mind, I'll do a quick outro, and then y'all can figure out what you guys want to do. But
first of all, thanks for letting us hijack this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for letting us come in and take it over. So, but
we promise it'll only happen once a year, maybe twice.
Well, I don't know. We could find other excuses.
It's true.
So, but for those of you guys out there that don't know me, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and I normally have my cohort with me, Xander, but he was just too tired to be here tonight. We are a father and son YouTube channel, and we are available to be found pretty much everywhere. Fun King 3D. FunKing3D.com, Twitter /FunKing3D, which is my preferred method of contact. I am on Facebook, but I hate it. And then the most important one, of course, is YouTube.com /FunKing3D. We've got some good projects coming up. Last weekend, I put some very dedicated time into my printers because I was down to one that was functioning, and I am now 6 printers up. So we've got some good projects that are going to be cranking out. And Xander's Thing Thursday, every Thursday at noon. That's usually the one I plug. Well, that's usually the one that Xander plugs, but I think that's it for me.
My quick one is I'm James from Print and Play. I don't know the best way to describe my channel anymore. The whole goal of my channel was basically combine 3D printing and retro gaming, which is still part of it. But in terms of what's coming up for me, it'll be the CNC stuff. And I'm working on the Tronxy X5S right now to take it from the way it is in the box to basically the best it can be. I want to try and do enclosure and all that type of stuff. So there'll be all sorts of tutorial videos relating to that. And yeah, other than that, you can find me on youtube.com /print and play, the letter N. And I'm on Twitter at JC Print and Play.
We can also find you at Murph.
You can find me at Murph.
But not those guys.
But not those guys. Because Glenn's a jerk and he keeps rubbing that in.
I drove for 22 hours to be here.
I'm also going to do a little bit of a shameless plug. If you are a small YouTube channel under 1,000 subscribers that is looking to get a bit of a sponsorship. I am running a giveaway type situation right now. GearBest is giving me a printer to give away, which I'm going to be starting that giveaway next week. So right now I have a Gleam contest running. If you win the Gleam contest, I'm picking 3 channels from the Gleam contest that will get plugged using this giveaway printer. So people will subscribe to your channel in order to win the printer. That'll give you your chance to put your best foot forward and see what happens.
Pick up a few subscribers.
I'm at 137. Hook me up.
Just the Gleam links on my latest video. Go for it. I mean, that's the goal here. Is like both Glenn and I have seen how that little boost can sort of get you more eyes on you. And so once the eyes are on you, it's up to you if you can keep them or not. You're not going to keep them all. I will say that both Glenn and I
you will lose probably a third of what you gained from contest links.
Yeah, the average loss is I think just over 20%. So know that your number is going to jump and then it's going to drop after the contest is over. But if you retain 2/3 of what you've got, I mean that's a big boost.
It's well worth it. So and James decided to do it this way. Based on, I mean, there's a lot of small YouTube channels that we associate with. I mean, we consider you guys all friends and family.
Yeah.
And to pick 3, I mean, when I did it, it was hard. I can't imagine now because we've made so many more friends.
Yeah.
It would be just too hard, and there's no fair way to pick what 3 you want to do. And obviously, we can't do all of them when we do stuff like this. So.
Like I mean. It was kind of the bit of the coward type thing, but like I really don't want to offend any of the people that are working so hard. So I said, we'll let random number generation pick it. So yeah, you can pop over there and check it out. See what happens for everybody.
Yeah.
So, that sounds wonderful. Oh, you guys have a fun time out.
That's
You guys have a fun time and say hello to the others that have popped in and out with us.
For sure.
Thank you guys. Thanks for letting us come in and hijack. I mean, we really did.
I've had a great time.
We really came in and just took over the whole stream tonight. But
I'm finding that Glenn and I can't shut up when we hang out, so it's a good thing this is once a year.
No, well, we can't shut up when we have a live stream together either. Which I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
That was essentially the reason why somebody hosted that wasn't going to Murph, so that people from Murph could call in and actually
pop in if possible and then pop off if they have to, and it's not just but it's smart that way.
Well, it's sad that more people didn't show up, but apparently they got invited to Chili's. I didn't.
We were all invited to Chili's. It was just
I just missed it.
Yeah.
Well, I had to go feed my family, and I mean they were all starving, and so we took a couple of different people with us, and we just went and had a little sit down alone. So it's all right. It's okay if Joel doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah. Joel got to know the real Glenn and like the rest of the
world. I have to tell a quick story. I know we're supposed to be out of here, but there was a guy. Who was that? I can't even remember who it was now, but somebody was standing there and they said, "Oh, I'm going to go introduce myself to Joel." And I said, No, you can't do that. Joel doesn't. How did I say it? Like Joel doesn't talk to people. And he went, "Oh," and he held back. I'm like, "No, I'm kidding. Get in there."
And Joel high-fived that guy right in his face.
Right in his face. Just.
Yep.
So, all right, guys.
I will say that having met Joel in person, Joel is every bit the nice guy that you think he is from his videos. It's almost ridiculous. Actually, you know what? I will say, actually, on top of that, everybody that I've met at Murph that I've interacted with it all online, everything, everybody is genuinely exactly as they are. Like all the people that are nice and helpful and stuff like that, you meet them in real life and they're just like that. It's not just an act for the video, or unless they're really good at acting in real life, in which case they should probably find the real James Cameron.
Well, but if they're really acting like that in real life, doesn't that mean that they really are that way in real life?
Well, it depends on what's going on in the back of their head. Because if they're in the back of their head going murder them all, they're probably not a good person.
Well, real quick before you guys disappear, either one of you going to the East Coast Rip Rap Festival?
I will not be, at least for this year. For this year, we had budget for me to do one thing, so Murph is going to.
Well, he says that now, but he wasn't going to come to Murph either. I'm very persuasive.
Nothing short of offering to pay for my trip down there.
Yeah, I might start a GoFundMe to bring James to Earth. My family, what I did was I planned my family vacation at the end of June, and we're going to Washington, D.C., which, surprise, surprise, is only like an hour south of Bel Air, Maryland. So yes, as of this point, that is my intention. I will be at her.
As you can see, Glenn is shiesty.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm quite the manipulator
And
when I need to be.
swifty.
Swifty.
Yeah.
Gotta get swifty.
Well, I'm definitely going to Earth myself, so we'll have to do some hanging out.
You know what'll be nice is that when you do your live stream from Earth, you can make fun of me for not being there and get me back for this whole thing.
Right. And I will join you. I will join you, and you and I will spend like 2 hours just picking on James for not being.
I'm just not gonna watch it. I already know it's coming. I'm just not gonna get spoiled. I'm just gonna log off.
So I'll let Matt know that you volunteered to host during Earth.
There you go.
There you go.
Wait, I volunteered to host.
Before you guys go,
Not me. I'll be there.
Yeah, he's going to be hanging out with me. We're going to be talking on your stream.
That's fair. I'm on Canadian dial-up though, so enjoy that. Canadian dial-up's even worse than American dial-up.
well, before you guys go, Matt wanted me to mention, let people know that you can get the Friday Night Hangout T-shirts from Merchant Minion, who I think she is there at Murph with you.
She is back. She is very much here. She brought me my my first Merch Minion printed Fun King shirt. So yeah, that's it'll be, and I always screw up the initials, F3DPCH.merchminion.com, I think is the address to get to the store. And they are good looking shirts. I've seen a couple people wearing them. So
I'm looking forward to receiving mine. So, yep.
Also, at some point in the next 2 weeks, printandplay.ca will be live, and I will have a store running for stuff. I'm not going to push it much because it's just I had some people ask me if they could get shirts, so I'm like, I'll put up a website then.
Perfect. So, all right, guys, anything else?
I think that covered it from Matt.
Okay, well, once again, we're at Murph and you're not.
Right. I just want to let you know that that we're sorry you're not here, but you're sorry for not being here. And was that too harsh?
Thank you.
Did I just finally cross the line?
I don't know. I mean, you didn't tell them how we think that we're better than them.
Oh, we are better than them.
No, oh, you're so bad at this, Glenn. And Glenn doesn't even drink. If Glenn was drunk, he'd be dropping like F-bombs and.
I think I've had about 6 hours of sleep in the last 2 days, so I'm pretty wrecked. So,
go get some sleep so you can enjoy tomorrow.
Absolutely, and I've got a lot of pictures coming, and there's going to be some videos. I'm trying to take selfies with everybody that I can, even if I'm not going to remember their names.
Glenn and I haven't taken a selfie together yet.
No, I figured there'd be time. Yeah. So.
Is that wrong?
I lost my chances. So, but no, I love you guys. You know that I love all of you. Those in the chat too. Please, everybody out there, be safe, and definitely plan to be here next year. I mean, no matter what, plan to be here.
Yeah. If you have to sell a kidney, is selling kidneys legal in the States? No way.
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you just say A to me? No way. No way. You totally did it. You don't even know you did it.
I have to mute Mike so I can swear at him.
Will it have an A after it?
It'll start with an A-hole.
You guys, I gotta go to bed. Thank you guys.
Have a good night.
Night.
Yeah, cheers.
Have a good night, everybody.
Oh, we're at the time where we should do extras for everybody. We'll keep on talking as long as people are around, but we should go through the group.
Well, sure. We'll start it the same way we started in. You want to go ahead and run us through your outro there, Darian?
Oh, wrong way. Yeah, sure. So I am the Renaissance Tinker Dork on Twitch. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name. You can also find me on Instagram. Same name, except for with underscores in between the words. And on Twitter, @RenTinkerDork. I do stained glass. I make custom 3D printed frames for the glasswork. That one's a prototype, but just so you can see. My current project is a JoelBot window for Joel telling. And hopefully Glenn will get the one that didn't make it to him back to me. I'll be remaking that. But that's essentially what I do, and I live stream on Twitch pretty much every time I can. There's some times where I go weeks without streaming, but that's because of my full-time job.
All right. So, when Mike's cutting out, sorry.
Well, Martin, what about you?
Yeah, I'll do mine. Yeah, my name is Martin, and I have a channel called 3DP Iceland. I'm also on Twitter as 3DP Iceland. What I do on my channel is to print out all kinds of stuff, but I've done a lot of landscape printings like this one. This is unpainted, and I paint them and create time lapses where I do the paint process. I've also been doing a lot of filament testing and projects around my printer and creating YouTube content on my experience on 3D printing. So that's pretty much what I do. So that's me.
Okay, well, I'll go next. My name's Richard Murray, and all the information should be showing up underneath me. There's one that's missing on there. And that is on Facebook. I still can't speak. Facebook at 3D Printing for Model Trains. It's more of the hangout, but my focus for the shows and videos are getting things printed for model trains, although I'm being pushed all sorts of different directions right now. Haven't produced much in the last few months due to health issues, but I'm coming back. I live stream. Hopefully I'll be back on a regular basis now. Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific time on the ZM channel. And just a reminder that you can see what's going on with us at F3DPCH on Facebook. There's one for streamers, but FD3PCH dash public is where you'll see who's going to be hosting the next show 2 weeks from now. And Matt has put the word out that our goal is to be able to tell you at the end of the stream who's going to be hosting the next one and what the topic will be. We're slowly getting organized, and we will get there. So I think that covers everything. It's been a fun night with the folks popping in from Murph. I'm very jealous of all of them. Love to be there at some point. But anyways, that's for me.
All right, guys, for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, I'm the host for the evening. I'm Geek Tech. My channel is wrapped around games and nerdy things and 3D printing and stuff to that nature. Again, currently the project I'm working on is a 1-to-1 scale statuette of R2-D2, starting with paper and kind of going up from there. All of which update videos are going to be on the channel. Doing the paper folding is a fair bit boring. Crushing 60 hours of folding paper into a time lapse is not nearly as interesting to watch as it is to do. But I will be making more videos about it, especially for the fiberglass on the inside and the resin, and then the molding that I'm going to be doing out of Bondo later. If you're interested. If you get a chance while you're here, go ahead and hit that like button on the video for me. It really helps out the stream, helps me out a lot, and I'm glad all you guys could come. I really appreciate all the company. Thank you guys for jumping in on the call. It's always fun. I'm so glad to be back into the community. I had to drop off for a while for some family crap, but yeah, I'm definitely back now.
Yeah. Those streams are awesome to take part on. I even have to start the stream at 3:00 a.m. in the night. So I do all-nighter to take part, and it's great fun.
Yeah, that's Martin, you're really a trooper since you do start early in the morning over there. It's much easier for us out west. Early in the evening.
Yeah, I would try to go to sleep and have my alarm to wake me up just half an hour before the stream, but I usually don't fall asleep knowing that I'm getting up back again. So I try to get some sleep beforehand, but normally it doesn't work. So I just stay up all night. Saturdays after the streams are pretty like after a big drink out, half hangover just of tiredness.
I understand that. These streams have been wonderful. We're over a year of doing them now, and you learn so much and meet wonderful people. And as I said, these things are great. Now we got a logo, got a T-shirt on the way. But as I said, hats become part of the institution. And most of us, if you look at it, not all, but most have a Prusa original sitting behind them, either MK2, MK2S, or MK3. And many have gone picked up one of these Geopoly SLA printers, the Moya. So you get a lot of information out of it, and it's a learning process too.
Yeah, it was quite funny. I remember a stream I was taking part of, and I think we were 8 on the stream, and everybody had a Prusa going on in the background.
So. Yeah, I haven't got my Prusa yet. I'm in the process of trying to get one. I thought about doing the whole GoFundMe project and all that, but I was like, no, I'm going to try to earn it. But with how times have been recently, the whole reason I wasn't part of the community for a while, but I've almost got enough, and I'm going to go straight for the Mark III. Prusa i3 Mark III. I was going to get the Mark II, but I figure if I'm saving up and getting one anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and get the Mark III.
Might as well go with the Mark III. The nice thing is you won't have the delay that some of us bought them last year had. So I think ours was it 8 weeks, 9-week delay from the time you put your order in till the time it received?
I put in my order for a Mark II last year. And about 2 weeks in, I had to cancel it. And I sent in a letter to Prusa and everybody. And they were really understanding. And I told them it was financial crap that was going on. A bunch of the community already knew what was going on at the time when I had to do this. But I backed out of my printer. And I'd ordered a pre-built one. So it was going to come and be ready to print right out of the box. It was going to be pretty. But I had to cancel it. But yeah, I'm definitely getting one. I'm definitely going to get a Mark III.
Yeah, I waited, I think, 9 weeks for my first MK2 printer, the first printer. And I even started my YouTube channel before I got the printer shipped to me. So I waited forever in my experience to get the printer.
Yeah, actually, Martin, I did the same thing. I was on YouTube for 2 months, I think, before my first printer actually showed up. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't mine. It was my daughter, Brenna's. Superior Jello, who's been on and off the streams from time to time. So we already had a bit of an audience when we did stream the build of it.
Yeah, I was starting a few videos on stuff I was doing in Fusion 360 and just printing out in the local Fab Lab. So it was the last weeks of the fidget spinner era. So we went to the Fab Lab to print out several fidget spinners before I got the printer. I think actually when I got the printer, the fidget spinner thing was over, and I don't think I printed any fidget spinners on my actual printer.
Yeah, I know. I still have a box of bearings somewhere around here.
Yeah, I have like a 12-pack or something of bearings that I never used.
Yeah, that's exactly what we had. One thing I found that was really cool when Brenna and I streamed both of our builds was some folks at Prusa tuned in and watched us go through the build. And every once in a while we got a comment saying, no, not that one, go back a step. And so they help guide us through live as we did the build. And I had a problem with one part, and the guy was trying to explain to me what to do. And I said, you know, do you have access to YouTube? He goes, well, yeah. I says, well, give me a minute. I'll start a live stream, and you can see what I'm doing where I'm having the problems. And what I found was quite interesting that, right after I started the stream, even though we're just troubleshooting, we had about 15, 16 people watching us do the work through the issue. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I just watched a lot of build videos before I got my printer, and then I recorded like not a live stream, but just a recording of my build process. It helped a lot of watching other people build the printer before I did.
Yeah, that's the great thing of not being the first.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about YouTube. Chances are that somebody's already put it together, done something, and you could watch them do it and learn. That's my favorite part about YouTube. Well, that and the cat videos.
Yeah.
Then for the MK3 printer, I did a separate video for each step in the build process. So the build process is cut down into 9 pieces, and I made 9 separate videos with going through in detail every part of the build. Those videos have got a lot of views and are quite popular on my channel. People have said they're gonna watch my videos while they build theirs to make sure they get everything right.
Well, that's Chris, when he built his Moya, he broke it down into a whole bunch of videos that were no more than, I think, 10 minutes long. So it was just step by step, all nicely broken down. And it was a fantastic way to go through it. Much better, actually, than, you know, the live stream of the entire process. Just going, okay, this is how I did this section. This is the next section. And actually, if you go to the Pure Poly website, they have the links to his video series.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I watched some parts of those videos, but as I didn't have that printer, I was not like watching every part of it. But last night the manufacturer links to his series. That means they're approved with his methods.
Yeah, that's where, as I say, it's a great way to do videos. So for us content creators, for doing a large project like that, I found it much more easier to view the entire process by having these short segments. Some of us go for the long videos, but the short ones work fairly well. Neo, oh boy, come on, Richard. Nellobean, hopefully I got that right. He's opened up a store, and he hasn't been in the 3D world much since he opened up his store, but he was looking at doing videos along the lines of 3-minute long segments of just doing one thing, especially since he's into retro gaming as well as tabletop gaming. So do a short video on, you know, a piece, which looked like an interesting format, and perhaps something that I should look at for the model train stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works with, if it's better to do shorter videos or longer videos, but it's good if you're doing a tutorial on a build to break it down to at least chapters in the video, so people can just watch one thing at a time.
Well, you have the bonus there. You're kind of mixing between two different points. On one side, if you have a very intuitive video, you're going to increase the amount of time people are actually watching your video. By comparison to the fact of a build specifically like that, if somebody is running into a very specific problem with their build, they're more likely to go and see watch at least one of your videos than watching the entire part of your build video just to get to that point to watch what they need and then leave it. Because they could just be fast forwarding through it. You have a higher chance of getting more views by doing it in chapters than by doing the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. On what I've seen in the build videos that I've done, most of the views are in the last stages of just initial the calibration and testing and making sure everything works, and people are verifying their results are the same that I had, most likely. So.
Well, I think I'm going to have to bail at this point. So,
all right.
Thanks to everyone who joined in. Hopefully, you hit the like button and subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you Wednesday at 10 a.m. if you're around YouTube Pacific time. In the meantime, enjoy, and hopefully the folks at Murph don't have too much of a hangover for tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Before you leave, do you have that the link for the merch? By chance?
I don't have a link. I just have the. How did he send it to me?
I'm going to grab it and put it in the video description.
Yeah, Merch Minion is the name. So you'll have to look up the link. I don't have that.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yeah, Glenn's gone because he's been dealing with it. But, yep, okay. In the meantime, have a good night. I got to go see how scared my cat is after he jumped on my roundhouse. All right.
Yeah.
Take care, all.
Yeah. I think I'll also call it a night. I'm getting pretty tired also. It's
all right.
It's 4:36 here in the middle of the night. So, so I thank you for hosting, and we'll see each other in the next one.
Yeah, bud, not a problem. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Cheers.
Well, I mean, it's kind of teetering off, guys. You're kind of stuck with me and Damien now. Not the worst people in the world, I guess. I'm not sure if anybody else at Murph is going to try to call in or not. The stream has been running for about 2.5 hours at this point. We're teetering off. We're down to like 11 people watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I mean, we're just here to hang out. Like, I will run this as long as you want to sit in here and talk to me. Again, I'll try to be as minutely annoying as possible. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it too. So I hate to leave you hanging all by yourself, but
I'm used to
my
it.
name.
It's all good, bud. I'm an insomniac. I barely sleep anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
No,
have a good one.
Good. Yeah, you too, bud. Oh. You annoying never. You're funny. But no, I mean, so we've got most of the crew that's out at Murph now. A couple of them dropped in. How you doing? Dropped in for a bit. Yeah. We had quite a few people drop in actually, and then we've got. No worries, guys. I never sleep. And hopefully we'll have kind of the same turnaround, if not better. I'm definitely going to be calling in a lot during East Coast Rip Raft Festival. I've been begging my wife to go to this thing, and she said that we can go since it's in June. And I'm going to have up lots of footage from that for you guys to see. It's gonna be 3D printing fun. It's great. But yeah, I'm a musician. I read that the first time, and like I said, I'm a magician. I'm awake at odd hours, so I had to go back and look through it, Tanner. So a musician. What kind of instruments do you play? You're a country singer and songwriter in Nashville. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to give him mod status now. How do I do that? I want to say that that's under over here. And here I am again in the middle of a live stream, and now I'm not talking at all. Lovely. Gunnar, I currently have a G-Tech printer. Back when everything was kind of going downhill for me, not to get too personal with you guys and to drag you guys in. I'm sure that y'all don't need that on your conscience. But back when everything started going down, I had to pull my buyout for my Prusa i3 Mark II. And I took a little bit of money from that, and I bought myself a G-Tech printer that I had to assemble. And it's currently sitting right behind me. You should be able to see it right there on the stream. I'm not sure. I'll move out of the way, but it's right there. It's a dual extruder, and it has worked several times. It currently does not work. I am running into a heck of a problem with it, and it is a pain in the butt. And I'm trying to get it fixed. I am going to be talking with Matt later, and hopefully he'll help me fix it. I have troubleshot the crap out of it, and I still can't get it to work. But yeah, I mean, I like my little printer. It's not bad. I just wish it would work more often. I've pushed a couple of rolls of filament through it, and I still don't know why it stopped working. So yeah. Oh, you won the Wi-Fi G-Tech model. Nice. Oh, you can help me, Gunnar? I'll take you up on that. Don't even think I won't, man. I got to get this thing working. It's been sitting there not working for so long now. It's like a semi-expensive paperweight kind of chilling. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. All right, Matt. Sorry, I added you. My fault. I got carried away and was not paying attention. All right. But yeah, you're modded now, Matt. You should be able to put stuff up. You've had every G-Tech problem that there is. Hopefully that doesn't mean that there was a lot of them. Yeah. Well, Matt, just so you know, I'm having my wife make more roses for your wife. And I'm gonna bring those in steaks up, and I'm gonna drive up to your house. We're gonna fix my printer. I'll bring steaks, and my wife's gonna bring flowers for your wife. I'm kidding. I wouldn't just show up randomly. Maybe. Okay. a different main board display for my monoprice. Oh, all right. But yeah, I mean, I've got. It's a beautiful printer. It looks great. It printed really well. I got the dual extruder on it. It's got a heated bed, glass top. Not a real big fan of the glass top because of it seems really thin to me. But you know, yeah, I like my printer. And for the record, the Carson lady that's in there that's picking on me, that's my wife. She's giving me a hard time. She wants me to fix the printer as well. So. Hell, even her mom wants me to fix the printer at this point because her mom wants me to print stuff out for her. And that's what happens when you get a 3D printer. That's the greatest part about it. Is one of my favorite things about having mine is I always felt bad when it wasn't printing anything and I could never think of something to print because you get to that point where you're just like, I don't know what I want to do. Everybody you know wants something 3D printed as soon as they find out you have a printer. And you can get loads of experience printing different things and different types of things by telling people, yeah, I'll print it. You buy the filament, I'll print it out, and I get to keep whatever's left over. And you get experience. The Duplicator 9. I have not seen anything about the Duplicator 9 yet. There's so many things to print already. Yeah, I do a lot of different design stuff. I've designed a lot of things, but most of my design work is based towards the other thing that I do, which is papercraft. So I design a lot of stuff in like low poly form to start off with, and then I do the detail on my end with like router and chisel and Bondo and lots of spray paint. But so I haven't done fine detail design yet, but I'm looking into doing a lot more of that. CR10 size, direct drive extruder, removable magnetic build. Ooh, removable magnetic build surface. That's not bad. Mesh bed leveling. Of your driving entertainment. Dude, I know how far you have to drive. I will gladly stay up and keep you awake. Yeah, Gunner, definitely. I will definitely send you a line. Touchscreen interface? Oh, man. Five and a half hours left out of 8.5 hours. A removable type plate? Cool. No, it's not bad. I mean, there's lots of stuff. There's lots of nerdy things I need to get into. I really want to get. There's lots of prints I'm planning on doing, and lots of things I'm planning on designing. I am in the process of working towards designing, essentially designing Christmas presents for all of my in-law-ish family. I say that because I'm not entirely sure what the term is, but like I said, I'm building the R2D2 for my wife's mother.
Your glasses. Your glasses. been driving me nuts for the last hour. Your glasses are so foggy you cannot see your eyes.
My glasses are so foggy that I cannot see my eyes?
We cannot see your eyes.
I don't think they want to see my eyes.
I don't care. Your wife's getting driven nuts by the fact that your glasses are foggy. It's the only thing I've noticed for the last hour.
My glasses are 6 years old. They fog up on their own.
Yes, it's called vaping.
Whatever.
And I just put a big old fingerprint right there. There we go.
Sorry, guys. My wife's giving me a hard time. No, it's fine. I can read through the blur. It's fine.
Here.
Jeez. Yes, my eyes are yellow.
Much better. Thank you.
Yeah, foggy glasses. That was good. Trevor said, "Thank you, wife." But no, it's I really wanted to go to Murph this year, but I just lost track of everything. For some reason, I thought Murph was later on in the year, but I'm getting ready to change jobs, which is going to give me a lot more time to do what I need to for my YouTube channel and for printing. Obviously, I'm gonna have a lot more time. I just got a salary position doing the same thing I'm doing now for full-time work, because we can't all be Joe Telling and do YouTube full-time, but he worked really, really hard to get there, so I don't think I'm bitter about it. Joe Telling did a hell of a job. He's a hell of a guy. One of these days I'm going to meet him and we're going to drink rum together and be really happy. No such thing as paid vacation in your line of work. You know, I mean, you'll really get there, bud. It happens. Oh. And it would probably cost more than that $600 just for you to get there. I mean, I don't know where you live or anything like that. I live here in the States, and bread. And it would cost me more than $600 to get there, and then the hotel stay and stuff like that. I am going to Earth, which is the East Coast Rip Rap Festival in Bel Air, Maryland. I am going to be at that one. And again, there's going to be lots of footage from that. Which should be really neat. And it's going to be the first Rip Rap Festival I'm going to have gone to, which should be really fun. So what are the projects some of you guys are working on? Tell me about it. Enlighten me. Did everybody teeter off? You left me alone, didn't you? Cheap ass studio light. You know. You finished printing 180 3D printed stickers. Did you 3D print the sticker you gave me at the Maker Faire? Modular wall and building system. Nice. Okay. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I thought it was vinyl, and I was like, wait a minute, this isn't 3D printed. It's going to be going like right here is my computer. All the stickers right now that I've gotten are going to go up there. Currently, the only sticker that's there is mine. Oh God. But like the only sticker that's there right now is mine. Yours is going up there tomorrow. I'm putting that up. And yeah, I just made everybody nauseous with the camera. Sorry about that. I didn't think about it. But I'm putting yours up on my computer because I've only gotten a couple of stickers, and Joe, I haven't gotten my one from Joel yet. So that's going to go up there too. But I do have stickers that I'm going to be giving out to everybody. I gave you one at the Maker Faire. I got crap tons of them. I just don't know what to do with them. I don't go through computers like crazy. I've had this one for like 6 months. No, I'm just kidding. I've had this computer for like 3 years. All right. Did somebody call in? Oh, nice. All right, I'll keep that one to myself. I won't share. Unless you want me to share it with everybody, then I'll share it with everybody. Those look amazing. There's some live streams from the last render session you did. Check your Hangouts. You can. It's late enough. Okay. Let's see. All right. Here, I'll show you guys what Matt was working on. Since he's driving and he can't show you guys, he printed all these out to give out at Murph. Let's see. Let's go to see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, I lost it. Oh, look, I bet you that's it. It's not letting me see. It's not letting me get to my desktop. Darn it. Nope. All right. Well, for some reason, it's not allowing me to do that part. That's okay. Yeah. See, I enter every single 3D printer contest that I see for two main reasons. One, I'd like to support all the people that do the contest because I mean, it's cool. You get support and everything like that. And two, I hope one day to win a 3D printer. Mind you, I never win ever because I'm just that unlucky. I mean, there could be 10 people enter a contest with 9 prizes, and I'm going to be the one person that doesn't win. All right, that's just how it works. Okay, my wife, on the other hand, okay, there were like 1,000 people that entered a contest for I think it was a 112 or 116 scale monster truck RC car. She bought like 2 monsters and won the truck. She wins every time. It's great. She's definitely cooler than I am. She definitely has better luck than me. Cooler probably isn't the correct word, but she definitely has better luck than I do. Got all kinds of. He's sending me all kinds of pictures. I mean, lost at all the pictures of things. I know you admitted it. Yeah. Well, no, everybody knows my wife is cooler than I am. So have your wife enter the contests. You know, I've thought about that. Then she would win the printer, and then she would have it, and then she wouldn't let me use it. Using an old G-Tech bed mounting plate for your light. Nice. Yeah, I know. I never mention it because I never think about it. She's right. I never mention it. But yeah. I had these made. And it's backwards because my camera's all goofed. But yeah, they're my stickers that are backwards. Oh no, it shows up right on the camera, but it shows up inverted for me. But yeah. But yeah, those are the stickers that I had made. I was gonna get I'm gonna be giving them out at EarF. They're not 3D printed. They were made for me by there was a sticker company that I went to. This was I had these made with my Christmas bonus from my job. Don't get too excited. It was like $50. That's fine. But I'm gonna be giving those out at EarF, and I guarantee I'm gonna have more of them left over, so I'll send them out to people as well. Should be cool. You can't. All right, now I'm confused. There's a movie character I remind you of? Or just the name Geek? The Toad. Wow. That's my wife for you. I've actually been told I remind people of a lot of other people, which is weird. Out of movies, and they're like really random. Like apparently, if I shave off the sides of my beard and I just leave the goatee, I look like the guy from Breaking Bad. I don't know. And then I've also been I had some random person tell me one time that I looked like Johnny Depp when he was in Secret Window. I felt like that was an insult. I played a geek in some movie. Feel like it was 007. Jeez. I've never done any acting at all. So, I mean. '90s nerd movies. I'm talking about like Revenge of the Nerds. I think those are the '90s. Now those are '80s, weren't they? I don't know. I'm glad you guys are active in the chat, though. That's cool. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to myself. Been trying to give Matt a hard time while he's driving. Yeah, definitely '80s. I haven't seen those movies in quite some time. I'll have to go back and watch them again if I think about it. All right. So, I mean, no. This was fun. I really enjoyed this. Watch out for that tree, Matt. Well, I used to do a lot of co-hosting. And I say co-hosting, but it's more like co-streaming. Every year during E3, I would co-stream different events in E3 on my Twitch channel several years ago. Specifically, the last one I did was the big Blizzard Bethesda release when they talked about the new Fallout game. It was Fallout 4. I really enjoyed that. I love talking to people in the side chat, though. That's kind of like my big thing. And I'm definitely going to have to start streaming more often. All right, Rover. Oh, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. You're really stuck on that, aren't you, Gunner? It's bugging you now, isn't it?
Okay. Your idea was a good idea, but it failed.
Which one?
I
have lots of ideas that fail.
Yeah, that's true. But no, the beating around this edge failed. This was with hot glue. This is with Elmer's. And that's the spray adhesive because it's still sticky. And I can't do that because it's still sticky. I have glitter everywhere now. The cat's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. Apparently, Gunner is having a hell of a time. Apparently, I look and sound like somebody from a movie.
I've been watching.
And he doesn't know what it is, and it's bugging him.
If I could post pictures in there, I'd be posting certain ones because I know what you look like bald without here. That would make you like really mad at me.
Yeah, you're right. It would.
Because you know who I'm thinking of.
No, because if I shave my beard, I completely change. But the way I look,
cut your hair, you completely change.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the hat. I mean, I take the hat off and I completely change.
Oh, the stream's great. I've been watching it. It just, I'm bugging him about flowers.
Gunner, for the record, the wife is Carson in the chat. She's been giving me shit. She's watching too. That's only because the person she normally watches stream is streaming a game she doesn't like. So, so I actually get her as a fan for the evening.
Yay, fairy dust!
You stop getting that fairy dust all over my office.
No.
You have to have the hat on for the movie look.
Put the hat on for the movie look. I think I look better with the hat. To be completely honest with you, I do not. The secret is that I have long hair and my hairline is receding quickly. It's all running away from the top of my head and taking new residence on my back, and so it's all falling out. And I'm in denial because I don't want it to fall out. 17 years of wedding bliss. So I wear a hat when I'm on the stream because if I don't, this brilliantly bright ass light, and let me explain. This is what happens when I turn it off. All right, you see how much darker it gets in my office? All right, which is fine. But then it looks like I'm hiding in the dark. So I use the light just so that I appear a little bit better. It is really bright, and I do have a bit of a glare off the side of my head. I need to move it. There's this giant wall behind my monitors that you guys can't see. So from what way it appears, like from on the stream tonight, I think I have the biggest office of everybody who is streaming. But I just have a lot of crap in here. All my nerdy posters and stuff. $30 years, 33 years for your ex-wife. Good for you. I need to shave. I need to clean up the beard. Probably not get rid of it, but clean it up. Oh, if I don't get rid of it soon, the wife's gonna stop talking to me again. I found out his phone back then. He's probably he left Pennsylvania, so his service completely died. No, I'm not sure. Metric. I'm 6'1". Well, let's Google it. 6 feet 1 inch in centimeters. 85.42 centimeters. Does that help? God, that sounds like a lot. That makes me sound really tall. I'm 185 centimeters. Take that, short people. Am I a robot? I probably sound like a robot. Give me a second. I'm not getting any feedback that I'm having a bad connection at all. But I can't hear myself either. I've got myself muted in YouTube so that I can't hear myself talk. All right, okay, Tanner, for the record, don't print me life size. Don't 3D print me life size because that would just be horrible. You would have this. There's already one of me in existence, and the world doesn't even know what to do with me half the time it's got me. Okay, you don't need two of me. I could not. I feel bad for my. Okay, the fact that you said that I looked like somebody from Hackers is actually really funny. I watched that the other day. Who does he think I look like from Hackers, though? Obviously, it's not the main character. The Plague. You know what? Oh, that's just cruel. Wow, that's awful. Fisher Stevens. Fisher Stevens was the Plague in the movie Hackers. You bet I'm Fisher Stevens. Let's see. Hang on. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can find a line from there. Well, I don't think I can. I'm horrible with accents. I don't even think he had an accent. Let's see if I can find. Okay. I don't know. They're like twins. Okay. I gotta figure out how to do this screen sharing thing. It's gonna bug me. Oh, wow. There's actually a button that says screen sharing. I don't look anything like that. Not even close. I mean, no. It's because I have a big nose, isn't it? That's what you're saying. It's the fact that I have a big bulbous nose. I can't believe you'd say I look like that. I'm insulted. Wow. Jeez. Similar eyes, my foot. His eyes are blue. Yeah, he's a fair bit older now. Jeez. But no, Hackers was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Mind you, it's pretty far out of date now, and a lot of the terminology is really wrong. But no, it's fine. The eye structure. That's funny. That's funny. No, it's cool. I do actually appreciate the comparison. I was actually hesitating there for a minute because when you said the hackers, I was like, oh God, he's gonna compare me to hackers, and then he's gonna say that I look like Jesse Bradford from the hackers, and I was gonna be like, no, I do not look like Joey, and then I would have been insulted. Sure. Yeah, no, the tech guys, yeah. We won't get into arguing the accuracy. I had somebody who was in an ethical hacking class with me swear up and down that all the terminology inside of hackers was 100% accurate. Tried to convince me that all the terminology in there was 100% accurate. Needless to say, he didn't pass that class. Mind you, I wasn't teaching that class, so I was just taking it, but he didn't pass the class. A Batman cosplay right now out of Ninja Flex Filament. Yeah, it is very far from reality. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right. I mean, that is what hacking is. I mean, it's man, that's a whole other story. But no, the Hackers movie is far. It is definitely a fantasy movie. Okay, it's about as hell. It's about as accurate as Swordfish. That movie was wrong. Oh, of course. Tanner, you're right. It only had one redeeming quality in the whole movie, and it only had that redeeming quality for about 3 seconds. Somebody wants to see my progress on R2? Who wanted to see my progress on R2? No, out of all the movies I've seen in my life that had to do with hacking and stuff like that, I would much rather be doing the hacking scene from Lake Johnny Mnemonic. That would be awesome. All right, you guys want to see my progress on R2? All right, give me a minute. All right. So far, starting off, the very first thing I built was the middle foot, obviously. This is just the paper shell. I'm going to be putting Bondo over it and doing a lot more molding and stuff like that. I don't have to wear my hot headphones because you guys aren't talking to me. You're just listening to me run my mouth. So I'm going to take my headphones off for a minute. But we got the foot. Just a start. Let me get my mic out of the way. All right. Get my ugly ass chair out of the way. The feet, the legs, left and right leg. My plan is these are in two different pieces. This is one piece. Well, it's actually several pieces glued together, but this is one solid piece, and I'm going to be molding them into different pieces. Like I say, molding. Molding is the wrong term. I'm going to be shaping them as different pieces to then mount together. But this is the left leg, or as perspective. You have foot. This is the battery box. I still need to add a bit here and a bit here at the bottom. Mind you, it could literally be either foot, because the modeling that I did was reversible, because to save on design. And it wasn't for the lack of trying, it was just for the sheer fact that they are pretty much identical, and all that was really different was the battery box placement. But it's all paper. I need to cut this open. I think I'm going to detach it from here, put a hole in the back, and cut it open so that I can fiberglass the inside of it, so that I can make it more stable. Gib slap him? I'm 60 years old. I say what I like. Okay, for you. But then I'm going to model this as one piece, which will allow me to do the shaping. I'll be able to put the thrusters in as I need to. And this is a bit bulky at this point, but that's because there's a lot of fine detail in there. When I was doing the design, and I was trying to figure out which would be the best way to shape it around. And I figure if I build it up at this point, I'll be better off, because it's easier to take off more when you're doing a detailed design than to add on. Adding on is a lot harder than taking off, obviously. But once the foot assembles, it should pretty much look like that. I will be doing update videos as I go through. And I mean, there's the other leg. It's literally exactly the same. They're mirrors of each other. I literally, I did my design in Fusion 360 and modeled it. I started off with doing the modeling from episodes 4, 5, and 6. Then I made slight variant changes based on 1, 2, and 3 because there was more detail put into him at that point. But yeah, I mean, during the stream tonight, I was working on this. This is one of the vent ports in the middle of R2 to go into his massive body, which is right here. And yes, this is, for those of you who don't know, and this is 100% paper. I mean, other than the reinforcement at the bottom, which is cardboard, it's paper. But obviously, just like anything that you would print, the inside of this it's hollow. I've got to do reinforcements with fiberglass and stuff like that. Just like if you would print something that, I mean, just a couple layers thin all the way up, it's going to be this malleable. And you don't want it to be malleable. You have to do the reinforcement yourself. That's why you use infill. God, I could not imagine doing, just imagine doing this at 100% infill. That would take crap tons of filament. It would be super heavy. Oh my. It looks like the chat exploded. What happened? All right. Let's see. I just read a great joke. You guys want to hear it too? Wow. Yeah, you're right. It would literally take months to print. Oh yeah, very player. Yeah, it would literally take months to print if you did 100% infill on something like this. And by the way, when I'm done with this project, the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the shell and the internal casing and the wiring and everything like that. I'm probably really far away from my microphone. You can't hear me. I'm going to release all of my files and stuff out to anybody that wants them. I'm going to use it for what I'm going to use it for, and if you want to use it, go ahead. I'm a firm believer that every single person should have. I mean, this is 2018. Why don't we have robots in our houses by now? I mean, come on now. Everybody should have a robot by now. But that being said, judging by the size of this guy, I mean, actual 1-to-1 scale, I wonder if I could fit a 3D printer in here. Who wouldn't? I mean, would that not be cool to have a 3D, like an R2D2 enclosure for your 3D printer? That's what kids are for. Paper. I'm betting I could make or design a 3D printed or a 3D enclosure for a printer. I could fit a Prusa in there. I couldn't fit my G-Tech in there. It's a little too bulky. This white huge thing? You missed it because you were telling jokes, Gunner. This is the beginning of the body of R2D2. This is like how big he would be. Mind you, he has no head. I mean, there's no head here. But, I mean... yeah, R2D2. Have you not seen Star Wars? No, I think he's just messing with you. He might not be. Maybe he has never seen Star Wars. Yeah, it's got a ways to go still because I've got a lot of modeling I still have to do. Not seen Star Wars. Okay, that's fine. I'm a giant nerd. Well, a geek really, and I watch a lot of Star Wars stuff. I watch a lot of Star Trek stuff, and I plan on doing a lot more prop building other than just R2D2 here. I'm also planning on doing, like I was saying before my wife came in here and distracted me. I am currently modeling a couple of the different weapons from Overwatch that I'm going to print out and design and get built up and detailed. And I'm going to do props from Overwatch for some family members for Christmas this year. And I'm going to do a couple of other stuff for people on the channel. I'm planning on making a lot of different stuff, and I'm planning on printing out a lot of different stuff. The problem is I don't have a lot of space. So I'm planning on giving most of this crap away that I print out. It's a good thing they don't watch my. Yeah, well, your family is not interested in watching my channel right now. It's fine. I think I'm safe. More or less, I don't think your mother would watch 4 hours into a stream on 3D printing that I was doing. Oh no, I agree with you, Rover. I won't watch the new stuff. Won't watch it. Yes, that was me who had a mother-in-law that dressed up for Star Wars. That would be Carson's actual mother that dressed up to go to Star Wars. To be completely honest with you, G-Tech, I have no idea. I mean, Rover, I have no idea. I don't know what's wrong with the G-Tech entirely. I have a lot to go through. I need to troubleshoot it again to try to figure out what the problem is. Right now, currently it seems to be functioning. To the point of extruding. I can't get any filament to come out. I've checked to see if it's blocked, nothing. I've checked to see if the filament's wrong side, nothing. It's just not doing what it needs to do. So I need somebody else to take a closer look at it because I've looked at it for so long recently, and to try to figure out what it is, I just can't. It's blowing my brain apart to try to fix it. But that being said, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. If you haven't, hit the like button. If you want to hear more of my crazy antics, go ahead and subscribe. If you guys haven't already, something little bell for notifications on whenever I'm going to run my mouth. I may have to change the nozzle. Rover, you're probably right. I probably do need to change the nozzle. I'll have to check. I don't know. But either way, I'm going to call it a night. I've got a 13-hour day at work tomorrow. This is my last week at my current job before I get to my new one. But I'm going to go. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are such a blast. You guys have made this really entertaining for me. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. You have kept me running my mouth for an hour and a half past when everybody else left, because they all screwed off on me. Thank you, Gutter. Good night to you, bud. Rover, have a good night. Tanner 3D, have a good night. It was a pleasure. I really had fun talking with you guys. I've only said goodnight to like 4 people in the stream. There's a 5th person watching. I don't know who that is, but whoever you are, I love you. Have a good night. You guys have been wonderful. Well, thank you, Tanner. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, bud. And thanks for the sub for all of you guys. I was Lamont. Lamont was in here. Lamont, what's up, bro? I have 2 hours of giveaways to catch up on. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys are wonderful. I will see you all next time. And I will definitely be in the stream the next time it comes up. Enjoy. Bye-bye.